Hello?
Hello.
Yo, what's up, dude?
Nothing much.
Yeah, bro, I was hopping around these random weird Discord servers and I don't feel safe anymore.
Oof.
Someone was following me between servers.
The
Like,
fuck?
weird. They kept acting like a chick, but I was like, nah, dude, rule one of the internet.
As Akbar always said, it's a trap.
Exactly. That's wild. Some people don't even need voice mods. Like, they just, like, do it so well. I'm just like... They're saying weird shit. They're like, I'm drunk. Do you want to see nudes? I'm like, no, leave me the fuck alone. You're weird. Like, could you imagine a dude running around a Discord server saying that? Yo, dude, I'm so drunk. You want to see my dick? Like, that's fucking weird.
There are simps out there.
Yeah, but it's like... I wasn't born yesterday, dude. Like, I know the ways of the intranets. All right? I've been on this shit since I was, like, 14.
You forget there's probably people that have been on the internet for a while and still fall for it.
Yeah. True. Just, like, desperate. It's like, dude, porn sites, they're free. Just go there.
People
It's
that
free.
pay for nudes, me, an intellectual, watches porn for free on Pornhub.
Can I get your Snapchat email? It's like, what the fuck?
I've seen so many memes like that. It's like people that pay for nudes are sad because you can literally get it for free.
I don't get it. And they're like, well, this person's like famous or whatever. Like, I'm like, yeah, so is like every porn star.
I'm sure there's celebrities out there that have been in pretty revealing movies.
Oh yeah, you can if you look hard enough, dude, you can find shit for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
And if not, they got deep fakes these days, so you don't really have to look very far. You just be like, deep fake of, and you're like, oh shit, dude, it's everywhere.
Everyone has a look-alike.
Right, there's that. Or they just, take the face off and use that self-learning AI shit. But anyways. How have you been, man?
Trying to get that podcast set up.
Oh. What sort of topics are you trying to talk about?
The last season of Star Wars, The Clone Wars.
Dude, it's a good topic. I dig it.
Yeah.
Clone Wars is good.
We're gonna do
Are
it this
they
Friday.
still doing Clone Wars?
They just finished season 7.
No way, dude. I've been fucking sleeping on that. Oh.
Yeah, they ended it in, I think, 2014. And then they brought it back this year for one last season.
Nice. I'm gonna have to check that out for sure.
Yeah. If you finish it by Friday, I mean, you can join in on our podcast.
That'd be sick. Heck yeah. Yeah, that's like one of the few things I think Star Wars wise they did pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, other than the trilogies, like the first 3, pretty good. Then otherwise, it's just like this sand, so rough. It's like, dude, please stop talking. It's like, stop.
I guess you hate to hear this, but I'm a prequels guy.
That's that's episode 6.
No, episode 1 to 3.
Oh, right, go backward.
Yeah. It goes 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9.
Right. I agree. This he's pretty cool
Yeah.
character.
I think he's one of my favorites.
Oh, dude, Grievous is fucking... Yeah, I like Grievous. I'm not gonna lie, though, the fight between Anakin and, gosh, Obi-Wan?
Yeah,
That was pretty sick.
it was.
Jar Jar, though, dude, I just can't... I can't with Jar Jar.
There's still theories that if it wasn't for so much backlash towards Jar Jar Binks, he would have been a Sith Lord. Like, there's sayings that George Lucas had a plan for Jar Jar Binks to be a Sith Lord, but because he got so much backlash, he just backed off of it.
That would have been interesting to see, though.
Yeah, it would have.
Jar Jar as a Sith.
There's
yeah, anybody can use the Force, right? I mean, it's not like...
Well, not anyone. You have to have the magic touch or the midichlorians, depending on what you believe.
Right. Well, I guess I mean like race or species-wise, like, yeah, you could...
Yeah, anyone can have it.
Because I like the blue chicks or whatever. They were Jedi.
Ayla Secura.
How do you feel about the new Star Wars, though?
What was it? Force Awakens. I like that one. That one was nice. What was it? Was it The Last Jedi? That one was okay. I wasn't really a huge fan of it. And then Rise of the Skywalker was okay. I mean, not a huge fan of it either. I mean, it's canon, so you just gotta accept it.
I heard a lot of really mixed stuff about Solo.
I watched Solo, and I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean,
yeah,
definitely better than The Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi.
Huh. I might have to check it out then. Oh, dude, I still gotta finish The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian's so good.
I completed that a while ago. Yeah, my girlfriend.
Like, if they took that direction, the same direction, I get it's just like a series, so like condensing a film is a lot harder.
Yeah.
But if they, yeah, dude, if they would have just taken that direction with all the new Star Wars stuff, it would have made so much more money.
Yeah.
But you know, Disney tries, I guess.
Trying to push their agendas.
Right. Just like every classic kids movie you've ever loved that was animated, live action. It's like, stop, dude, please. Oh my god.
I mean,
like, I heard Aladdin was so bad.
Honestly, I didn't think Aladdin was too bad.
Oh, no?
Yeah. I thought Will Smith was pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't hear Will Smith is... I mean, he's usually pretty good in most of the stuff he does. I don't understand why he gets so much hate.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, he's a good actor, and I thoroughly enjoy his movies.
Oh, for sure, dude. I would say, gosh, what was that, like, zombie-esque movie he did?
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. Like, that's gotta be a cult classic. There's
that was good. There was an alternate ending to it, which people say is the better ending.
Really?
Yeah. You remember in the end where those vampire zombie things break into his house?
Right.
And you know when he like explodes himself with a grenade?
Yeah.
It was actually supposed to end with him giving the wife back to the one he was testing. It was supposed to end with him giving it back to them and them letting him live.
Oh, okay. And either way, it still leads up to the idea of a second film, which they haven't done. It's like, dude, why would you not?
Yeah, I think it's far past the time to get a sequel.
Right.
I don't think we're gonna get it.
That was a really good movie, though. I don't know. I guess he got a lot of crap from the superhero movie he did, but honestly, like, I haven't like watched it, but I've seen a lot of clips from it, and I don't think it was him. I think it was just the direction. I think it was the director who
See,
screwed that movie up.
we give the actors flack for bad movies, but I mean, he's a good actor. I mean, it's not his fault he ended up in a bad movie.
Right.
I
Like,
mean,
you can blame all the actors in the Avatar, the last Avatar movie, the Airbender.
yeah,
Or you can blame the fact that M. Night Shyamalan had absolutely no idea what he was doing with the last Airbender, and leave it at that.
yeah. I think a lot of people just end up blaming the actors. I mean, how was he supposed to know that the movie was going to be so bad?
Well, I mean, he could have gave the other people who were working on the film like more freedom, because like I remember like I was watching an in-depth thing about this, and like, you know, you have like co-directors and co-producers and stuff like that, and so many people gave him input and were like, dude, you're wrong about this, or like this needs to be this way, and he was just like, no, it's my movie. And it's like, you can't call yourself a director and not take feedback.
Yeah.
That's not, like, as a director, you should be receptive to feedback.
I mean, there's been movies where they like copy a book or comic, and the person that created that book or comic will like give them like feedback, like maybe you should do it this way, and the director will flat out tell them no. Like, you're telling the creator to F off.
Right. Thanks for giving us the rights, though, to do this. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
And it's like, you gave us the rights to do it, but I'm not going to take any of your advice.
Yeah, it's just a shitty way to go. It's never going to end well. That's probably why, like, so many American-made movies or like live-action sequences based on like anime are just so trash, because they either don't work with the creators or they don't listen to their feedback.
Yeah.
Step 1. Unless it's European themed, no one should be white. That's not a hard concept to grasp your head around. Like, geez Louise. Oh my gosh, dude. Blows my mind.
I mean, I could understand sometimes it's hard to find an actor of that race.
Right, but they don't even have to be like Japanese. They could at least be like Asian.
Yeah,
you know, like, don't. Why is it gonna be a white dude? Or like the funniest thing for me, what they did with Death Note, the movie, was it's like they got a black guy to play K, or whatever the fuck his name is, the investigator, and it's like, I will say though, he did a really good job with the role. Like, he did a fantastic job with the role, but still, it's like,
that movie sucked ass.
yeah, that movie was garbage.
I
I think
watched-
he was the only salvaging part of the film, was his acting.
I mean, even then, it was... He didn't have a lot of... He was given a horrible script.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he did what he could with it, though. But,
Because I
like,
won't lie, that movie was pretty shit.
Oh, that movie was so bad.
Compared to the anime, that was shit.
Oh, the anime was so good. I just love, like, I don't know, I've had a lot of debates with people about this, but, like, usually when it comes to, like, psychological thrillers or, like, plot twists in shows, I can see it coming a mile away, right? Like, I can just know it's coming. I didn't see any of the major plot twists in Death Note at all, dude.
You're
It
taking
just totally...
something that has a lot of plot and elements and fine details and condensing it into a movie, which was... How long? How many seasons was Death Note?
like 6, I think.
I don't remember.
It was like 6 or 7 seasons. It was pretty long running.
I mean, I only watched it till Light died, and that was the last episode I watched. I didn't go any farther. I was pretty satisfied then. So there was probably more seasons
Yeah, I
after
think it
that.
only went like one more season. I don't even think it went a whole season after that. I think it went like 3 more episodes. Yeah, so you pretty much finished it. Yeah.
Because once Light died, I was pretty satisfied and I stopped watching it.
Yeah, same.
And plus, I didn't want like I was using a sketchy website to watch anime.
Oh yeah.
It was like one of those pirate websites to watch anime.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I finished what I wanted to watch. I watched Death Note and Attack on Titan, the first 2 seasons of that, and then I called it good.
Oh man, I couldn't. I just there was something about the first season of Attack on Titan to me that was so good, and then it was the same thing with Tokyo Ghoul. Like the first season was just so good, and then it's like I got into like the first couple of episodes of both of those, the second season, and it's just like I don't know if this is the pacing or like the way the story went, but I just couldn't. I couldn't invest myself into it, man. I guess I didn't really like the direction they went with Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
For the first season.
I won't lie, a lot of TV shows, I like the mystery aspect, but once you solve those mysteries,
same.
I'm satisfied and I don't want to keep watching anymore. Because once you lose those elements of mystery, I'm just no longer interested.
Same, yeah.
Or they're just throw in other stuff in that I just don't care to have solved.
Right.
Like Attack on Titan, after that second season, when you find out there were Titans in the wall, I wanted to watch the third season, but I was told that it's not worth it because they literally don't follow that plot. I was like, okay, then what's the point?
Right. Well, I felt the same way about the first season in the sense of like, it was unique to him, the MC, that he could turn into a Titan. And it's like, everybody and their grandma can turn into a Titan now. And it's like, dude, why would you, like, what the fuck? That was the cool thing about it. Like,
well, I mean, you had those 2 mysterious Titans.
Right.
I mean, we at least knew about those. But yeah, we kind of thought that was kind of a special gift for him. Speaking of that, I kind of want to watch Attack on Titan Season 1 again, but I don't know how.
I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's the, I won't lie, I'm too lazy to read subtitles, so I kind of need the dub.
Oh, yeah. Dang, I was going to say, if you're really into, like, mysterious types, there's a show called Boogie Pop. It's really good. But I don't think they dubbed it.
Oof.
I don't know, man. I feel like the American voice acting falls really short.
I'm sure it does, but I'm just too lazy to read subtitles and pay attention what's going on.
Yeah, I understand. I've been watching subbed for so long, it's like, it doesn't even really... I don't even really notice it.
I mean, I bet. After a certain point, it just becomes second nature.
Right. Oh, dude, my family drives me nuts sometimes because, like, they watch, like, these really loud action shows. And it's like, certain stuff will be, like, really quiet when they're talking. And then it's, like, gets to the action part. And it's, like, really fucking loud. And they're always like, turn the volume down, turn the volume up, turn the volume. And I'm like, just put fucking subtitles on. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, just leave it at a stable volume and just put subtitles on. They're like, I don't want that shit blocking up the screen. It's like, dude, it's not even like, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, just, it's not. I don't even notice it. Like,
for me, when it comes to movies, and stuff, usually the movies are good at like making sure you can hear everything if you keep it at a certain volume. So I usually don't have subtitles on for that, but for like video games, sometimes things can be quieter or covered up by you shooting that you need it sometimes.
Right.
But usually in movies, they're not like talking softly while there's shooting going on in the background.
Right. Well, it's like, I don't know, they'll just have the volume like really loud, like abnormally loud. And then as soon as it gets to an action scene, everyone's like trying to find the remote and turn the volume down. I'm like, bro, just either leave it at a stable volume or like put subtitles on.
Yeah.
Oh, rewind. I don't know what they said. Just if you have the subtitles on, wouldn't be a problem. They're funny too. They'd be like, when you come over, we don't want any anime on our Netflix because in it, like, we get anime recommendations. I'm like, just ignore the fucking recommendation. Like, what? Ignore the recommendations.
Some people, or just get another account.
Right. Be like, yeah, let me log into my account. Too much effort. Like, alright, whatever. But it sounds like you're in the anime. One thing that I've been wanting to make a video about, and like, I don't know, I'm just kind of throwing the idea out there for like maybe a future podcast, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like there's a lot of stigma behind like anime fans versus like weeaboos.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to kind of maybe articulate to a general base of people there's a major difference. I don't know, I feel like I'm like, because I'm ran it by a few people and like even had a conversation with a few people. It's like I feel like the same idea applies to like sports fans, right?
Yeah.
Like you get introduced at a young age to sports, like because for me, I was introduced to anime at a young age: Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha, Naruto, that sort of stuff. I was like 7 or 8 years old when I was introduced into anime, and so I like became a regular thing for me. But like, I don't obsess about it. It's not the only thing I want to talk about. I don't have plushies in my room. I don't have figurines. I have one anime-themed jacket at all. And it's like, that's pretty much how your normal sports fan is like, right? Like,
Yeah.
you talk about other shit. It's not like sports is the only thing. But like, have you ever met like a sports head? That's what I call it. Like, I don't... Yeah, it's like the only thing they want to talk about is sports. So it's like this team. They've got like fantasy teams, and like all they own is like jerseys, and like everything in the room is sports themed. And it's like, that is just as cringeworthy, in my opinion, as a weeb, as like an otaku. And it's like, I guess the biggest argument I always get is like, anime is for kids, and I'm like, yeah, watch Berserk.
I was about to say, watch some of that. Like, Attack on Titan is not for kids.
Yeah, Attack on Titan is not for kids. I would even argue like Naruto and Bleach are not for kids because it's like really dark, undertoned shit.
I mean, Naruto is more friendlier than Attack on Titan, but it's still not for kids. I mean, I watched it as a kid, but I mean...
Right. Well, and like... I would argue that there are a lot of animes that are like teen-based, like their target group is for teenagers, but there's a big difference between like a 13-year-old and like a 17 or 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Because like you can tell the difference between an anime that's themed for like 13 and 14-year-olds or like 16, 17, 18.
Like Yu-Gi-Oh is for 13-year-olds, and then Naruto is for... people that are older, but not like 18-year-old specific. Maybe like 15 or 16-year-olds.
Yeah, and if like I was a parent and I walked in and my kid was watching Berserk or like Goblin Slayer, I'd probably be like, dude, you need to turn this the fuck off. Like, you need to wait until you're 18 to be watching a show with like a rape scene in it. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucked up. And like, yeah, a lot of shows are like themed around high school or whatever, but it's like just because it's themed around high school also doesn't necessarily mean that the target audience is high school. Like, what's that show? It's like a music sort of based show. The one kid who plays piano.
I don't
The other
know.
was a violinist. I don't know if you've seen that one. There's like suicide in that. You know what I
Damn.
mean? Like, you probably wouldn't want your teenager to be watching, because teens, like, especially when I was a teen, like, you get emotional and like overly, sensitive about certain things. So like, yeah, you probably definitely wouldn't want your teenage kid to be watching a show that has like suicidal tendencies or recommendations in them. Like, that's for people who are a little older, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think another argument that people give out a lot too is like all anime is littered with fan service. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what anime you've seen or what you're talking about. A lot of the more mature anime doesn't really have the fan service, and it might have nudity scenes in it or whatever, but it's like the same thing is true with normal television.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen more nudity, just straight up nudity and like unneeded sex scenes in like modern television shows than I have in like the more adult anime stuff that I watch.
It's just like how people blame video games for violence, but there's a lot of violence in movies.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I think it's just a fact of people are just ignorant to the things around them that they, like, you become desensitized to what's going on around you, but you see this
Right.
other thing that has a little bit of violence, and you forget about the violence that are in the things that you do, that you just blame that stuff. And people are always looking for scapegoats, because at one time, movies were being blamed for violence. Rock music was being blamed for violence. Now video games. And then
Right.
here we are talking about how anime has nude scenes, but we forget that regular movies have nude scenes.
Exactly. It's the same concept, and the biggest gripe I have about people, and it's like usually they associate it with weeaboos, or like,
Yeah.
I don't even wouldn't say like even a weeaboo, like an otaku. Like, I think that's a more appropriate term. Like, weebs are very uncommon. Like, you do have, I would say you'd have more otakus than like weebs
Yeah.
or whatever. People are like absolutely obsessed, because like, and this is kind of another topic, but it fits kind of same with that, like, football freak. Generally speaking, if someone is extremely obsessive about one particular thing, like, that's a sign of autism.
Oof.
Generally speaking, like, it's an autistic trait, like Asperger's or something. Like, it's a spectrum. So, and the fact is that there's way more access to the internet now, and anime is kind of a hot thing on the internet. It's a lot more easily accessible. Like, when I was growing up, the only way I was ever going to watch anime was Toonami or Adult Swim. That was the only way I had access to anime. Now I can go on the internet and I can look up any fucking anime I want.
Yeah.
There's subscriptions, Crunchyroll. There's literally subscription services to anime-only services. So it's more accessible. But, like, kind of going back to what I was talking about with the one thing that, like, really I don't understand, and, like, I feel like a lot of people have this general idea, is that, like, if you're into anime, you're into, like, underaged characters that are in anime, and therefore connection, you're a pedophile. And it's like, what?
I mean, you forget that, like, people that watch regular movies, I'm sure there's a pedophile or two that watches a regular movie.
Here's a point that I made to someone, and they didn't even know about this, right? I don't even know if you know about this, but you're familiar with the Netflix series where the main cast are kids, and gosh, what's it called? It's like sci-fi themed or whatever. And,
I don't think I do.
in contact with like kind of these aliens that were in this base or whatever. This one girl, she's like a psychic or some shit.
I don't think I know it.
Stranger Things.
Oh, Stranger Things. Okay, yeah.
Stranger Things. Yeah, Stranger Things. When Stranger Things like first came out, and even now, I guarantee you, like there was a really big problem going on where like middle-aged women were on social media talking about like essentially like without verbatim saying like I want to have sex with this child actor,
What the fuck?
Like, they were saying things very close to that, like, oh, you're so sexy. And they would, like, go on these actual people that exist that are human and have a form of contact would be going on their Instagrams and their social medias and be like, oh, you're so cute or sexy, and, like, I want to meet you, and, like, can we talk, and, like, being all thirsty and shit on literal live people who are underage.
What the fuck?
It's a thing that happened, and, like, it's probably still happening, and it's like, the weirder thing about it is it's like, if you think about the situation, like, it's probably very awkward for those actors and actresses, like, grown adults, like, thirsting over them.
Mm-hmm.
But the directors or producers of the shows are probably like, we don't want to take any legal action against these people because then it makes us look bad or we might lose fan base.
Yeah.
So they're in, like, this weird situation where, like, they probably really don't want to do anything about it, even though they'd like to, because their career is depending on it. So I'm sorry, not sorry, but, like, I feel like thirsting on a animated character that's not based on any real people, the art is completely different from actual, like, look-alike people, should be way more acceptable and, like, not as, like, negatively looked at as versus somebody who's, like, thirsting over a kid. You know what I mean? Like, there were a bunch of dudes, too, like, when Miley Cyrus or whatever, like, had a social media or Facebook or whatever, there's a bunch of dudes, like, hitting on her, grown men in, like, their 40s hitting on Miley Cyrus. So it's a thing that happens.
I think we just forget the world is just full of freaks.
Yeah, dude. And it's like, are those people pedophiles? Or is the guy who fucking watches High School DxD a pedophile? He's probably not a pedophile. Oh, but they, like, draw porn about it, though, and, like, weird. And I'm like, yeah, they like, make scat porn and all sorts of weird shit. I don't really enjoy that myself, but I'm not, like, demonizing those people because of their weird fetish. You know what I mean? Like, it just blows my mind, man. It's like the way people treat furries. Like, yeah, I know and knew furries, like, in person that were really great people. And just because there's, like, a few oddballs in the mix who do, like, really, you know, like, dress up in their fursuit everywhere they go doesn't mean that everybody who owns a fursuit is a bad person or, like...
I think we just forget that there's an extremist to everything.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, man.
There's people that like dressing up in a fursuit because they think it's cool to be an animal. And then there's people that actually fuck animals, which is the extreme side. And then we got the sports people that just watch sports for fun. And then we got the people that own every jersey of the player that they love, which would be the extremist side. And then we got...
And that's weird to me. Like, that's odd. Like, that...
I think people just become very ignorant too. Like, there's a group, and then there's the extremist part of the group.
Yeah. There's always somebody who's going to take anything too far. Like, I'm sure there's somebody who has, like, 1 billion different versions of Coke bottles in their room and is just absolutely obsessed over Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
It's a fucking soda. Like... I like Coke. I drink Coke. I've got Coke cans in front of me right now. I had a Coke 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the only soda I drink. It's not, I don't think about it 24/7. Like, I have other interests in my life.
Yeah. I mean, there's always collectors. I mean, I collect rocks. I mean, I don't have a bunch of rocks. I just have a small casing of rocks. That's it. I mean, it doesn't even take up that much room in my room. It's just like a small container.
Right, well, that's, like, acceptable. There's, like, this one guy on YouTube who's really famous, and he's, like, kind of a degenerate or whatever, and everything in his room is Pokemon. Like, everything. His blankets, pillowcase, pillows, his wall is filled with Pokemon cards, and it's like, that's unhealthy. That should be looked at as, like, unhealthy. But you've got the dude who's got a bunch of 1 billion sports memorabilia things in his room, and it's like, oh, that's fine because it's something that is widely recognizable. I'm like, gaming isn't a widely popular thing just because you're not into it.
People are just very ignorant to the other things.
Yeah.
I mean, you like to put blame on the new things that come out. Like, parents will blame video games, people will blame anime. I mean, back when they were our age, I mean, their stuff was being blamed.
Right.
I mean, at one point, football was blamed for causing people to be violent. Um,
Right.
I was in a college class about sports because I'll be a history teacher and a sports coach. And I mean, I gotta learn about sports and their history. And legit, people thought like football caused college students to be more violent and aggressive. I mean,
It's just a silly concept.
it's just the fact that people don't like anything new. Change is bad.
Right. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, though, it's like whether or not you accept something or not, it isn't going to change the fact that it exists.
Yeah.
It's already there. It already has a big enough following. It's like, I'm not big on religion, to be frank with you. Like, I feel like religion doesn't really have a necessity anymore. Like, I could go hours and hours into, like, my beliefs about this stuff. But just because, like, I don't necessarily agree with it or agree with people who are, like, overly religious doesn't mean that, like, I'm going to go out of my way to demonize those people or, like, talk badly about them.
Yeah.
Like, I accept what you like or believe in. Like, I don't know who it was, but I took a lot of philosophy classes in college, and there's one philosopher in particular, and he had this sort of golden rule, right? And it's very simple. His golden rule was, if you meet 2 requirements, then anything else you should be free to do. If whatever you're doing doesn't hurt, harm, or put someone else in jeopardy, or doesn't hurt, harm, or put yourself in jeopardy, then it should be fine.
I've heard of that philosopher. I just can't put a name to him.
He's like a European guy, but
yeah,
and I agree with that so wholeheartedly. It's so simple. It's like, yeah, if you're not hurting anyone, or like putting someone in bad positions or whatever, and the same for yourself, like, who cares?
Yeah. Like, if I slaughter NPCs in a video game, it's literally affecting no one.
I would argue it's better that you're fucking slaughtering NPCs in a video game than going around, if you do have some weird sadistic, weird, but if you have some like sadistic trait in you that has you want to kill people, it's probably better that you have an readily accessible outlet to something that isn't causing harm to people. I would argue video games probably deters violent people from going out into the real world and hurting people, because at least you have like this outlet that you can induce into. And like prior, people were saying like boxing and martial arts was like really good for people. Like psychiatrists looked into this and they could actually find out at a young age if a kid had violent tendencies, and they would get them into something like sports or martial arts or whatever, and they would follow and track these people. They would have less violent tendencies as they got older. If you have an outlet for your thing, you're going to be satisfied with that outlet, and then you might be a psychopath or a murderer. Okay, well, you can't stop those things from happening. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you just monitor everything that everybody does.
Like, if you give people a place to release their anger and frustrations that's safe and controlled, it's better than them just doing it out in the world where it can harm people.
Right. And I could see in the future with VR, like full dive technology,
Yeah.
you'd probably have way less violent people because you could actually like physically go in and do your BR or your FPS and like, yeah, some people might get kind of a weird thrill sensation from it or whatever, but they're probably not going to want to go out and like kill someone. Because they'll be like, I'm satisfied with what I have access to. I'm not going to get in. Because it's not like those people are idiots. Like, people know, like, yeah, if you kill someone, you will go to jail or whatever. But it's like they're so obsessive about doing that thing. So, yeah, if you had, like, full dive VR tech, and they could go in and there was no consequences for what they were doing in VR, I could definitely see that lessening the amount of murder or whatever.
But I could see,
violent thing.
like, on the other hand, because they're doing this to this fake thing without remorse, it could lead to bigger things, but we just don't have enough evidence for it.
Right.
Because there's people that will, like, torture animals and kill animals, and as they get older, they'll move on to a human.
Right.
That's the only thing I could see going wrong, but there's just not enough evidence because VR is just too new.
Yeah, very true. Well, and it's like golden rule of sociology. Causation, what is it? Causation does not equal correlation, does not equal causation, or causation does not equal correlation.
Yeah, something like that.
So just because you can find a group of people who played video games and then went out and killed people, it's like, well, let's look at all the thousands or millions of other people who play video games and don't kill people.
But what about the people that
percentile?
don't play video games and still commit these crimes?
Exactly. It'd be great to live in a perfect society where there's no violence or rape or all these awful things that happen, but it's just unrealistic to assume that there's a way to still have a free society and things like that not go on.
Yeah. The world's not good enough.
Right. And even in like a non-free society, like socialism and communism, that's supposed to be able to prevent those things.
They don't.
Oh, well, Adolf Hitler kind of did a pretty piss poor job of, massacring an entire race of people, and Stalin, killed thousands and thousands of people, and they're still finding fucking corpses that he left behind.
Like, here's China, the modern communist nation, takes immigrants in, puts them in camps, so that way they can brainwash them into believing in the Chinese cause. Like, they're legit taking, like, people that come into their nation to live there, like Muslims, will put them in camps so that way they can learn their ways and forget their old ways. So that way they can better fit their perfect society.
Right, and if you come out of it and you're not brainwashed enough and you start going public or talking too much, you disappear. Nobody who's ever known you can see you or talk to you or whatever. Oh, he's being detained indefinitely.
Yeah.
So they're dead. That's what detained indefinitely means in China. You got killed. You were
basically
murdered. Yeah. Dude, your family is never going to see you again, ever. The entire time they're alive. Like that's a common thing that happens there on a daily. Like a lot of people who are protesting, like they got detained indefinitely and their family can't contact them, see them, write them letters, see a picture of them. If they have no contact to the outside world, they might as well be dead. Like there's no way of knowing if they're alive because they don't have any outside contact. Yeah, so do we want that? Or,
I remember reading somewhere, I don't know if it's still true or if it even was true, so this could be completely false, but I'm just going to say it anyway. I remember reading somewhere that if you practiced Islam in China, they wouldn't just take you, but they would also take your family and take them to... Wait, no, this was Korea, not China. This was Korea. They wouldn't just detain you. They would detain your family and your family's kids. Like, if you gave birth in that camp, that kid would stay in jail for your faults.
Yeah.
Like if
It was
you,
a big control thing.
yeah, like if
Because
you
people
went against the norm, not only would you be punished, but your family and your kin would be punished.
Right. Well, that's the best way to control. That's another really great way to control someone because it's like, yeah, if you didn't have like, if there was no repercussions that would happen to your family, like there's probably be way more people protesting and disobeying the law. But the fact that if you disobey, even if you don't have family, that's another thing too. If you don't have family, any family at all, it's like every person you're related to is dead. If you have a best friend, them and their family will be detained. So it's like there always is another person that's going to be accountable as well for your actions.
Yeah.
So it just makes it way less likely that you're going to do something about it because it's like, well, I don't want to bring someone else into my mess. So, or you just have to be that dedicated to the cause to be like, well, I'm willing to sacrifice other people for my beliefs. And so they turn you into a villain.
Pretty much.
So that you can be part of the system. That's fucked, dude. But I gotta hit the restroom like super quick. I'll be back.
All right.
Yo.
Yeah. I guess I should also warn you, I've been live streaming all day today, so that whole thing was recorded.
Oh, it's cool.
All right.
I didn't say anything that would get your video like taken down or anything, right?
No, I'm not worried about that. YouTube's fucking stupid. Because I was recording Minecraft with Lewis earlier.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
He says kind of some edgy stuff sometimes.
He does. I mean, he hasn't gotten me demonetized yet, so I mean, you're still good. But yet again, I don't make money from YouTube anyway. I think the most views I've ever gotten on a video was 60, so.
That's not bad.
I mean, yeah, for 14 subscribers, that's not bad. But I mean,
Oh, definitely.
that's only like 2 videos out of the, how many videos I've posted? And I think 5 likes is the most I've ever gotten to, so, I mean. It's just something I do on the side for fun.
Like an excessive amount of dislikes on your videos, that's always good.
I mean, I think I only have 1 dislike, and I'm pretty happy with that. But that video was like the GTA Green Gang versus Purple Gang, and I was the Green Gang, so I'm pretty sure it was some Purple Gang guy being mad that I chose Green Gang.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, war is war.
Right.
All is fair in love and more.
Oh, definitely.
I was about to say, you, me, and Lewis could do a podcast about anime.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, man. I don't know. And it's like, I'm probably, obviously, like, if somebody watches your video and they don't know anything about anime or they have these biases, they're probably not going to change their mind. But it's like...
I mean, yeah. I mean, the people that do like anime are still going to watch to support, I guess.
For sure. Yeah, yeah.
assuming they ever find the video.
Right. Or maybe they're not a weeb or whatever. I mean, and even then, like, if you are, like, it's not like, again, like, there's very few people that I'm just going to be like, these people need to be looked at negatively by society.
Yeah.
Like,
And
KKK, we can probably all agree, like, yeah, we should all, like, look down on those people.
Yeah.
Like, anti-vaxxers. I feel like most people would probably agree. Like, yeah, we don't want those types of people running around spreading their nonsense.
Or the SS of Hitler.
By flat earthers, because it's not like they're hurting anything. Like, you're not. I want to believe the Earth is flat. It's not hurting me at all. I don't care.
Yeah. And I mean, it doesn't just have to be about anime. The podcast be a variety of things. I mean, we went from anime to just talking about like normal shit.
Right.
So, I mean,
I apologize. I have a tendency to jump from.
No, man, you're good. You're good. I mean, it gives more fuel for a podcast.
Definitely.
I mean, podcasts were supposed to take up time, but at least be interesting. And I mean, everything we talked about was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I try to talk about interesting stuff. Like, I don't talk about COVID. It's like everybody's talking about that. Let's not talk about.
True. I mean, we're talking about anime. I mean, how many topics have been about anime and weebs?
I guess probably quite a few, I guess, yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I haven't seen any, so I guess.
Yeah, I guess not the route we're taking. I don't know, just like recently one of my friends is really into XQC, and he's like, oh, XQC's great and this and that, and he's like a big anime fan, and I guess he didn't miss this part of his or didn't see this part of his stream. But yeah, dude, he was just totally going balls to the walls, like saying nonsense stuff. He was like, anybody who watches anime is a pedophile. I'm like, dude, what in the world are you on about, bro? Like, how do you even make that insane correlation?
Right.
Like, it just can't stand that people would do that. I'm like,
I think,
bro,
the idea is for us to listen to what they have to say, and then for us to change their minds.
Right.
It's like that show, well, not show, but that, I forget his name, but he runs the thing where it's like, change my mind.
Oh, I love that, yeah.
But for us to change their minds.
Yeah. And I mean, it's hard to do, but it's like, again, I'm an anime fan, and like, obviously, like, I'm very open about the stuff, but yeah, there's going to be other people out there who are certainly like hurting your cause or whatever, but yeah, I mean, as long as you're open to listen to someone else's side of the story, like,
yeah, there's some people that just won't change their mind no matter what you tell them.
Right.
There's people out there like that.
This is extremely biased. That's one thing, man. Like, as a society, if we could just somehow get rid of bias, we'd be rocking, dude. Like, this is a huge hindrance that we have. I mean, it's useful in some situations, but
yeah,
for the most part, it's just an extreme hindrance.
I mean,
open to
I don't think we'll be ever able to get rid of bias, because everyone's going to have their own beliefs that they believe in. Like, say religion. I mean,
right.
They may hear your argument, but I mean, that's something that's been ingrained in them since they were born. So chances of changing their mind is probably slim to none.
Right. Well, but as long as you're like not, if you're willing to listen to the details and like keep your overly generalized misconceptions out of the conversation, like, it's just going to open up so much area of discussion.
Yeah.
Like, there's this one girl in my world religions class, and it's like, you're taking world religions. You're not taking Christianity 101. You're taking world religions, the name of the course. And it's like, our teacher goes like, okay, so this week we're going to learn about the Quran. And she was like, she like literally stood up and did this like dumb, like 15-minute like verbal protest of like, I refuse to, and he's like, it's part of the class. Like, this is graded. Like, I don't care what your belief is. He was like, nah, he's like, I don't mean that in a bad way. He's like, I care what your belief is, but he's like, well, we can debate. The philosophy is all about debate and stuff, but he's like, this is not up for you don't want to do it or not. He's like, you have to do it. And if you don't want to do it, then you can drop the class, but like you need to, this is part of the class. It's like she just couldn't get over that fact. And it's like, dude, we get it. You love Jesus. It's great. Nobody's debating that. You're not going to become Muslim by studying for a class. They're different ideologies or whatever. It's like, you know, I like those people who I would never talk to a Muslim, or I don't know why I did a country. I will never talk to a Muslim and all Muslims are bad. Like, that's the type of ideas that we need to like try to get out of people's heads. It's like,
we should be
sit down and talk to,
open to listen.
right.
We don't have to agree, just at least listen.
I mean, well, I guess there is hope because, like, I mean, if people weren't just completely unable to listen, then, like, racism would have never really, or not racism, but, like, slavery, that would have never gone away.
Well, I mean, if we want to get really technical about slavery, I mean, Africans enslaved their own people and sold it to the English.
That is true.
And then, if we want to get even more technical, Native Americans took other native tribes as slaves. And if we want to get even more technical, I'm sure there are Asians and English that took their own people as slaves.
Oh, I mean, well, yeah, they did call them slaves. The Vikings would, anybody else who was not a Viking, like, their idea was, if you lost the battle, like, you're my property now.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't die in the battle and you're still alive, like, you are now my property because we won. So yeah, they would enslave women, children, men. It didn't matter. Like, anything that was yours is now mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, Europeans definitely enslaved. Slavery has just been a thing in humanity everywhere.
Yeah.
At some point.
Everyone blames the white people, but we forget that everyone at some point had slaves. Every ancestor took a... I'm willing to bet a caveman took another caveman as a slave after he beat him up.
Yeah. Because it's like, well, at least I didn't kill you. You get to live, but you just have to do everything I say, and if you don't like it, I'll hurt you some more.
Pretty much.
Or you won't get food or whatever. I'm giving you food.
There's always been a sense that if you've overpowered another person or group or race, that, I mean, you're going to take them as slaves or an underclass or something.
But look how globally wise our minds have changed to the point where we're like, it under no circumstances is it acceptable for a person to own another person. Like, that's just not okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and slavery still exists in the world now. You have child slaves. You have there's still slavery, soldier slaves going on in Africa, in certain parts of Africa. You have in the Middle East, you have slavery essentially because it's like you're buying someone from another person, and now they're your wife.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's like that's kind of a slave, pretty much. Like, you own a person.
Yeah.
If you own a person, not good. So it's still going on now, but I mean, we've made it a lot better. I mean, there's been giant strides.
I think just not enough people are thankful for where we are in the world.
Oh, definitely.
Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of the shit that happened in the past is bad, but we need to also be thankful to where we are now.
Oh, definitely. Like, most of the planet now, we have, like, electricity. Like, I think, like, The Revenant is a perfect example of, like, a film that really shows you, like, how rough shit used to be for people on a daily basis. Because, like, if you lived in, like, that era anywhere on the planet, like, the only thing you were probably thinking about 90% of the time was like, how are me and my people or like my family or my friends going to make it to the next day?
Yeah.
Like,
Definitely.
how am I going to survive? Like, I've very seldomly had to think about survival most of my life.
I'm hungry. I'm going to drive 2 minutes to McDonald's and get me some food. And then
I don't
back
have
then,
enough money. I'll go work at McDonald's, or I'll go work here, there, whatever, you know, like we can get jobs that anybody can do. You can go get a job that literally, as long as like you're physically capable, you could do. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
And then people back then were like, okay, I need to hunt this much to survive the winter. I need to plant and gather this much to survive during the winter. Or if I don't get this, my wife is going to die from an infection. But nowadays we're like, okay, just drive to the hospital. Call it good.
Right. Well, and like in tribal stage of like civilization, like if you were part of a tribe and like something as simple as like you couldn't keep up, like nobody was going to come back for you. Like nobody was like, it was like every person for themselves. Like unless you were a very valuable part of the tribe,
it just
like if you didn't have a key use, like nobody cared like at all. Like you were just left, or people would like exile you or whatever. Like I don't have to worry about being exiled from my home because I played video games today. Like I don't, you know, like.
I don't think humans were that heartless back then, because there is proof of like they've found dead cavemen where they've noticed like this caveman, both his legs were broken, but they still took care of him and he died of old age. There's still also like you could find deformities like what is it called when you're short and you can't grow tall? What is that called? Dwarfism?
Dwarfism.
Yeah, there's signs of dwarf cavemen that still lived to their old age. So there is proof that we weren't completely heartless back as cavemen.
Right, true.
So I'm sure, yeah, there's a chance that you were left behind, but there was also a chance that someone that cared about you would at least keep an eye on you.
Right, yeah, you know, yeah, if your family was still alive, you had like a really good buddy, yeah, they would probably.
We valued human life even as cavemen. We may not value it as much as we do now, but I mean, it was still valued.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about stuff like that. That's very true.
Well, I am studying to be a history teacher, so I do know a lot about history.
I guess it depends what part of the tribe you are too, because like you know the
I mean,
what were they? The Spartans were pretty heartless for the most part. Like if you had a deformity that they could tell as a baby, they're pretty much just like, yeet.
But I mean, it also had a belief. I mean, it also depended on your belief systems, but there were still cavemen that took care of other deformed cavemen. I mean, Spartans, yeah, they did that, but I mean, they had a system of belief, and I mean, that's just how it is sometimes. But I guarantee you, those people that lived past that part were taken good care of even after they were wounded in a battle and could no longer fight.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it just depends on the connections you made with people, how touched by their hearts like how well you touched their hearts and how well they touched your hearts, I guess, and just the loving connections you made.
Yeah, definitely. For sure, man.
Like, say you were wounded and you had no family or friends, then maybe you would have been left behind, but if you still had that one friend that still cared for you, like your homie, I'm sure he would watch after you.
Right.
Make sure you got fed at night.
True. Well, and I don't know how big into this aspect of the history you're into or not, but I know there's one guy who's like a mushroom expert or whatever, and he talked about like a huge part of, I guess it's more of a theory, right? It's not, they don't have enough concrete proof to come out and say like, we know pretty much for a fact that psychedelic mushrooms like totally were the thing that really jump-started like social connection. But they would find people who migrated from like northern parts or even like middle parts of Africa, like way up north or whatever, and like they would die with like pouches that they would like have because they were able to find out like levels of importance of items based on where they were on your body.
Yeah.
So like most people were right-handed, so like if something was really important to you, it'd be on your right hip or like your right side.
Mhm.
And they would have like pouches and stuff for a lot of things. And they found a huge amount of people in different groups or whatever, and always on their right side, like dead or whatever, they would have like a pouch where they'd have like psychedelic mushrooms on them. Like they were very important to groups and tribes and things like that. And their more theory is that that psychedelics were used to open up more connections among people. And they like saw a very large correlation to the use of psychedelics, mushrooms, and tribe leaders and people who were able to have like a figurehead in these groups. Like medicine men were very highly looked upon. A lot of those guys, they would just go out and eat like mushrooms or eat whatever, and like somebody along the line discovered this thing that like put you in a place where you were just like, whoa, everything's connected, and I love you, and I love you, and you, I love everything, and everything's amazing. And it's like, that's stuck. And now we're like, that thing makes you think differently and more peaceful, and you love no, illegal, bad, nope. One guy ate too much one time and jumped off a roof. Bad. It's like, dude, what?
Too much of anything is bad. Drink too much water and you die.
Exactly. Yep. Toxicity. Lysergic acid is actually, if me and you were in a room right now and you gave me an infinite jug of LSD and I gave you, well, here, I'll reverse it. I'll make me die. Give infinite jug of water, and we'll give you an infinite jug of LSD. We both start chugging at the same time, and we just chug. Toxicity-wise, I will die before you just from toxicity alone. LSD is less toxic than water.
Big oof.
It's legal. One hit, 10 years in prison. They could, if you have enough of it on you at one time, they could literally determine that you have you are a terrorist. You have the intent to murder people. You have too much. You're not even a distributor. You're a terrorist. It's like in its own classification by itself. What? This makes no sense.
You gotta remember, someone back then, people voted for that.
I don't know if more so people voted for it than like it was just put under a classification because...
I mean, someone had to make the law.
Right. Well, it was the whole war on drugs thing
Yeah.
that was really big that legalized a lot of stuff. I mean, shit, cocaine used to be in Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
People used to, when their kid had a toothache or something, you'd rub a little Coke in their mouth. They'll calm down. Or no, rub a little opium. Yeah, you could go into the grocery store and buy a bottle of opium.
Just crazy how the world... I mean, smoking used to be a very normal thing.
Sulking?
Smoking. Like cigarettes.
Oh, like cigarettes?
Yeah.
Well, there are certain things that I think probably should be illegal versus other things that are illegal. Because it's just straight up like, yeah, if you use this enough over a long enough period of time, like you're going to die. Like it will kill you.
Yeah.
Like how many people in the year, like what was it? Like last year there's like 100 20 or 130,000 people who died from fucking alcohol-related deaths alone in the U.S.?
Yeah, probably.
That's still legal. If you had access to safer things, you wouldn't drink.
True.
Smoke a little of that green stuff. No. Oh, but I guess that's a whole another topic on itself. That's a bit. I'm pretty passionate about that sort of stuff, though.
Yeah.
But I guess we were talking more like history-wise. Yeah, like I thought that was really fascinating. Like, and even now they say like they're pretty like I don't even think this is really a theory. It's more of like a proven thing that like humanity and like most living things originated from Africa.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was way bigger than it is now. It's the whole plates breaking or shifting or whatever.
Well, and the ice.
Right.
Water
It was
levels.
called Pangea back then.
Well, I think Pangea was before humans.
Right.
I think by the time humans came around, the continents are pretty well set where they are now.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
which they're still moving, technically.
Ever so slowly.
Yeah. I mean, one day in the very far future, North America will be connected to Asia. Well, who knows? Maybe it'll go back to, like, reverse back into Pangea. Who knows?
Then we'll have to have global laws because everybody will be on the same on the same piece of rock.
Maybe not. I mean, you're still gonna have everyone's got that tribal, like, you find a group that you like, you stick with it.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we may be closer to Russia, but that doesn't mean we like Russia any more than we do now.
Right. Yeah, I don't think we'll probably never lose that aspect of, I mean, there's just certain things that are so embedded in our DNA that it's never going to go away. But
yeah,
still, like, we've made huge strides.
Definitely.
You know, and I think technology is just something that is kind of essentially forcing people to get out of the genetic norms.
Because you're getting exposed to that extra stuff out there.
All right, you have a misconception about somebody of a particular thing, you can call them and talk to them in a group chat online right now.
Yeah.
At any time, wherever you are. This is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, man, who knows? Like, there's so many insane things that are probably going to happen in our lifetime. Like, I can't even imagine, like, you know, Elon Musk is over here putting fucking chips in people's heads. It's going to cure blindness and deafness and Alzheimer's and all sorts of wild stuff. I mean, I could see, dude, by the time I'm, like, in my 50s, like, we'll definitely have people, like, hard interfacing with technology.
You know what I'm waiting for? You've seen Predator movies, right? The Predator movies?
Yeah.
Where they got that thing on their arm that they open up and they can use like a phone. Right. I'm waiting till we can have phones attached to our arms.
Oh, they do have prototype. Well, there's stuff that you can buy that is. It's like a flexible material and you can attach it to your wrist.
Like, honestly, it wouldn't be hard. Take a phone, make a thing that wraps around your arm, and be able to put your phone there and take it off whenever you want.
Right.
But, you know, I'm not...
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I'm not an inventor, so I'm not going to invent it. But maybe someone that listens to this will be an inventor and do it.
Well, they already have a material that's you can still use like a screen and all of the stuff interfaces, but it's just like, it's flexible. So it's like literally it wraps around your arm. They're really expensive to make.
I mean, I bet
they do exist. Well, I think I think Elon is on the right track. I mean, we're not going to need physical things anymore. It's just whatever you want. It's literally interfaces into your brain,
like Tony Stark.
So, right, or like kind of the joke thing in South Park, like the the Apple thing that they like hammer into your ear, and then it's like you don't even need a screen; it's just in your eyes. Or no, it was like Futurama had that. It was a thing in Futurama, yeah, that they like put in your head, and it's like you like blink, like it's just in your eyeballs, like you can just see it.
Yeah.
Because like if you know the human brain well enough, like yeah, you can force like not force, but like you can have like controlled, basically like hallucinations, like a display that you're seeing in your brain.
Yeah.
You could like interface with by just thinking about stuff. That could be really dangerous technology.
Hacking into people's brains.
Right, on a hack into someone's brain. Oh, it's battery operated. We'll just pop the battery that's screwed into their skull, and now their brain is like in chunks in their head. Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff that could go with that. But we're on our way to quantum computing. So if they can get that stuff down to quantum, they're saying quantum computers are unhackable, because the only way that you'd be able to hack a quantum computer is you'd have to interface. Like your operations would have to start at the exact same time, and you'd have to be under the same sequential order as that quantum computer. So your ups down, so your up down processing would have to be at the same frequency as their processor, and it's like we can't even get normal processors to output perfectly at the same. Like a company that makes processors can't.
So it it would only recognize your frequency, like your own personal frequency, and it would only turn on to you. Is that what I'm getting?
Exactly. Yeah, if you had a quantum processor on your chip, it would be nobody would be able to interface with it, because it's the way that quantum computing works is it's using up-down processing. You have up quarks and down quarks, so it's using that same sort of pinging, if you will call it a ping. It's pinging in the same way that a quantum. Wait, hello?
What? Oh, you two both still in here?
I mean,
yeah, I'm probably.
Welcome to our podcast.
Howdy. Yeah. Wait, I'm so confused. I didn't know you two even like knew each other.
We just literally
talked a few times.
Yeah.
Oh. That's hot and kinky.
A few times here and there, and then here we are, just having a good conversation.
Yeah. Yes. I'm sorry I ruined your good conversation.
No.
That's cool, man. Hey, man, if you want to hop in on, we're talking about the, whole implications of, like, Neuralink, quantum computing, interfacing your brain technology type stuff.
And we were also talking about anime, so you missed out on that.
Wait, that's where the topic originated from.
Yeah.
Wait, from anime?
Yeah, from anime to quantum physics.
Yeah, dude. I have a serious tendency to just jump everywhere. I apologize.
Which would make a podcast entertaining. Like, I was talking to him about us three doing an anime podcast and just letting it go from there.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's something I can definitely do.
Yeah. Just gotta get a time where us three are free.
Just hate the
I'm pretty much always free, so
same.
Hey.
So
I'll be at my mom's tomorrow, and then the next day we're going to Atlanta to visit my brother. So I'll be occupied tomorrow through Sunday.
We could do next week sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because apparently we're doing a Star Wars podcast Friday.
Yeah. Have you talked to them yet?
No, because I was talking to my friend.
Like, you guys were bugging me about figuring out how to do a podcast, and you guys can't even get together to figure out what day we're supposed to do it, so I set it up.
I'm just retardo.
But yeah, I guess we were originally talking about, I don't even know how I came to this subject, but I was like, oh, do you get into anime? And like, yeah, do you know who XQC is? Jordan? Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I am not familiar.
He's like this big name Twitch streamer, and he's just like, he's honestly a complete idiot when it comes to a lot of things. Like there's literally a video of him discovering condensation for the first time. Like someone actually explaining to him what condensation is.
Really?
Condensation?
He didn't understand the concept of condensation. He's like, yeah, man. Like, he's like, you know what I don't get? He's like, chat. Do you know what I don't get? He's like, I could buy soda out of a vending machine, you know, that's like cold, and like I let it sit, and over time there's like drops of water on the side of it, and he's like, it's so annoying. He's like, it fucking makes no sense. But if I take one out of it's just sitting out and it's room temperature, and there's no water. He's like, it just makes no sense.
Is he playing stupid? Because either he's really stupid or he's playing stupid. Because this is stuff you learn back in 6th grade.
Exactly. Yeah, well, I did a little research on him. He was homeschooled. He's like French Canadian. So his parents probably were like, it's going to be a prodigy, a genius. He doesn't have time to learn about basic science that he's going to encounter in his daily life. Like
really do be like that.
Yeah, no, and someone was like, yeah, it's called, in this chat, everybody's like, it's called condensation. He was like, condensation? And he like types it in Google and he plays and it's like condensation. And he goes, condensation, like as if he's never heard the word before either. Like,
I mean, it's not something normal people talk about. It's just something you learn in 6th grade math. Maybe talk about once or twice and never talk about it again.
Yeah. And he was just like, wait, so like, when I touch something, then like I'm making water? Like I make water. And it's like, no, dude, like he couldn't even understand the concept of the fact that it's just like when certain temperatured things that have moisture with them come into contact with other like temperature levels or whatever, yeah, it's gonna like condensation like form. Yeah, well, it's a naturally occurring thing. You don't even need to touch it. Yeah, eventually if you have a glass of water sitting, there's going to be a pool of water under like a ring of water. Yeah, so it's like just but he just couldn't understand, like, he couldn't really grasp his head around the concept.
You know,
I'm just like,
sometimes it's just best not to question it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's not a reason why condensate, it just happens.
You could literally Google, like, why does water appear on my drink after I set it in room temperature? And it will tell you about it. I mean, you could Google anything.
Yeah. Yeah, so like, yeah, he Googled it and like actually like understood it at that point. But anyways, like I was watching a thing like maybe a couple of days ago because my friend was like, yo, dude, XQC is like so good and like he's just a smart guy or whatever. And he was like, somebody in his chat's name was like Weeaboo something or whatever. And he was like, so he started getting like really heated about anime in general. He's like, you know what? He's like, I'm fucking tired of this. He's like, anybody who, he's like, you guys are all pedophiles. He's like, anybody who watches anime is just, you're all fucking weird pedophiles. And I'm just like, he like legitimately thinks that anybody who watches anime is a pedophile.
I mean, all right. Not really a me issue at the end of the day.
Huh?
It's not really a me issue at the end of the day.
Not a you issue?
Yeah. Retardo people, just retardo.
No, but it's like his chat was like agreeing with him and stuff, and it's like I legitimately think that there are probably a good amount of people out there who do think shit like that. That like if you're into anime, and he was like, he was using weeb and anime like fan as like a
interchangeable term.
Interchangeable term, yeah. As if like anybody who enjoys anime is a weeb or an otaku. And it's like that's just not the case, bro. Like there's blows my mind.
Yeah.
I kind of made the correlation of like, yeah, you know, like there's sports fans, right? And those are acceptable people. And then you have like your sports freaks. So it's like everything in their room is sports. All they own is jerseys. Like the only thing they want to talk about is sports. Like that's weird. That's also like you're obsessed about something. But there's not this general idea that everybody who enjoys sports is like obsessed with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, all sports fans are drug addicts, so not me.
Yeah. And poll, what's your? I know and hear your poll pot, but what's your actual like, or what do you go by?
You can either call me Asian or Ryan.
Asian, I like that. Oh yeah, Asian. But yeah, I think you made a really good point too. Of like, yeah, there's just like extremists in anything. But
I don't really tend to really pay attention to extremists too much. I just kind of hear what they have to say, and I'm just like, all right, that's kind of retarded.
Right, yeah.
And just go on with my day.
It's flat and there's a dome around the planet. Cool, whatever. You're not hurting me.
People talk about the fermentation. I think that's what it's called, or fucking stupid.
Yeah, fermentation. Yeah.
Fermentation. I don't think I'm familiar.
It's the concept that there is an ocean above the sky, and that's why the sky is blue, and also that's why it rains. Whenever it rains, the sky opens, which is why rain comes down. And it was like a stupid thing that was like in like the Old Testament and in like religious books before that, or like religious like beliefs.
Okay, well,
that's been around since like the Legend of Gilgamesh. So
right, well, because it was like all came from the concept of like the story of like Noah's Ark, where like there were like it says kind of sort of, it doesn't say it verbatim, but it pretty much kind of says that like that there is like that holes were opened up from heaven, like slits were opened up, and just like water was poured into the earth.
That's from like old religious beliefs from even before the Bible.
Right.
They've been documented from older beliefs.
Well, that's because like, and I wasn't able to understand this sort of way of thinking that people had back then in certain words and terminology that they would use based on their perception of reality. Because at that time, like most people lived in Mesopotamia, which is like, you know, that big area in the Middle East or whatever. Yeah. I mean, obviously there's people who lived in China and fucking, you know, Japan and, you know, North America. Like,
well, more or less, the people that we have most documented.
Right. Lived in Mesopotamia, is what you're saying. Yeah. And so to them, their perception of the world was Mesopotamia. Nothing else existed other than Mesopotamia.
Yeah, pretty much.
Scientific evidence to suggest there was a flood in Mesopotamia. There was not a flood worldwide. Mesopotamia is the only location where you will find written documentation about some flood that happened in that time span. There's no written documentation anywhere else in the world other than Mesopotamia. Ergo, it happened there.
There's minor floods that occur in China, but it's not really a common thing that happens all the time. Right. Unlike in Mesopotamia, where it happens literally like annually.
Right. Well, we're talking about the instance of like the flood, right? Like the flood, not the Adam and Eve, the Noah flood. Right. That flood. There's no documentation like worldwide that links that other than that area. So, you know, it's just people had a completely different perception of, I mean, people thought the earth was flat back then. They lived like everywhere. Everybody thought the fucking planet was flat for the most part.
It's actually now more believed that a lot of people actually knew the world was round. It's just
right. Actually, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, a lot of people, we've come to the conclusion that more people believed the world was round than people that thought the world was flat back then. Like, more people were more aware of that fact.
Right.
Yeah.
And what I don't get about flat earthers is the fact that, I mean, just fly around the planet and you'll find out that the world isn't flat. or sail around the world. Magellan did it back in, I forget what year it was, but whatever. And he sailed around the world. Some woman flew around the world. I forget her name at the moment. Was it Amelia Earhart? I think that was her name.
She died.
Well, she
Trying
tried
to-
fly. Yeah.
Yeah, she tried to do the first cross-Atlantic flight.
Oh.
And then she hit the fucking Bermuda Triangle and got abducted by aliens.
Nah, bro. She obviously flew off the planet. That's why we never found her.
Oof.
All right. We'll always have some stupid argument of like, well, yeah, you can fly from one point of the world to the other, even if it's a disc. That doesn't prove that it's circular. And it's like, go from point A to point B in a straight line. You can do that indefinitely. And they'll be like, I don't even know what their argument. Yeah, I said that to one guy, and he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, mark a point A, okay? Fly in a complete straight path. You will reach point A again. The only way you would be able to do that, if the world is a disc, you would fly into oblivion eventually. And it's like the fact that they're afraid of the fact that they could fly off the planet or hit this dome and
Well,
Well, prove us all wrong then.
Technically speaking, you couldn't fly exactly straight because you need to adjust for curvature of the planet, which the entire reason you can't fly straight is because the planet's curved. But
yeah.
But I mean, make them go in a straight line and they'll eventually make it back to the same point.
make it back to the same fucking latitude.
Right. You couldn't do that if the Earth was a disc.
Like, if it was a disc, you'd have to do curves to make it back to point A. Well, like,
it's-
Well, you'd have to fly in a circle, like a literal circle,
yeah.
not
Right.
like a circle around the Earth. I mean, like just a circle.
Yeah, a circle within the disc.
It's just people are dumb though.
What's the incentive of everybody else thinking the Earth is an oblique spheroid is the actual perfect definition. It's not a sphere; it's an oblique spheroid. But the reason why, the grand scheme is big globe sales, dude.
Globe sales.
Globe sales. You heard it
No.
here first.
We all know how much the globe companies are making.
Oh, dude, they rule the world. The globe companies rule the
Honestly-
world.
Honestly, the globe companies are the leaders of government. To be fair, they run the elections. All right. The reason Bernie Sanders dropped out of the election is because Big Globe threatened him.
I don't own a globe. Do either of you own a globe?
No.
No, I don't own a
Do you
globe.
know
because
anyone
Big
who
Globe
owns a
watching.
globe?
Schools?
Those are the only places. I
Schools
like-
own
I
a
like-
collective one globe per school.
I proved to this one guy how much of an idiot he is. I'm like, dude, let's find out how much a globe is right now. Like, if I could buy a perfect scale globe. Let's find out. And we went on Amazon. It was like $15. I'm like, oh, dude, they're raking in the fucking bank, dude. Oh, dude, let's find out how many schools are in America. And then we got like a rough idea. And then I did the math. And I'm like, oh shit, dude, like 0.2% of the entire fucking world economy is being spent on globes. Yeah, we just spent like $8 billion last year on fucking ammunition and firearms. Oh, big globe. Big globe, dude. Oh, they're raking in the funds.
I don't
Big
know.
Big Globe is the operation that funds the Illuminati.
I don't know if this was just a meme I saw, but they're like a meme I saw. Like, I don't know if they actually believed it or if they were just making a meme. But like someone, like they talked about like how do you explain like the other planets being round and ours is the only one that's a disk? And the person was like, because we proved they were round with pictures. And I'm like, what?
No, this one guy that I had been talking to, because like they have a Discord, and I like kind of sort of infiltrated the Flat Earth Society Discord, because I was talking to somebody about it, and like I lied to him, and I was like, yeah, dude, the I've sipped the Kool-Aid. The Earth is flat. Yeah, I believe you. And then as soon as I got in there and we were like been talking, like I didn't say anything for like 30 minutes. I was like taking notes and shit. And I was like, all right, so this and this, and let's talk about this and how insane you are in this. Like one dude was talking about how like the U.S. government, like all of the nuclear testing was so that we're really using nukes instead of to try to fight each other, right? Because that's not Occam's razor or anything, doesn't apply to that. We're conserving up nukes because it's a race to find out which country can blow up the dome above us. We're nuking the dome.
What?
We're trying to bust through the dome to get to heaven.
That would be a bad idea if you ask me, considering that also they believe the entirety of the top of the dome is full of water.
But we're nuking it.
Bro, Noah fucking nuked the dome, okay? He caused the flood.
There's one section in an almanac that was made in like the 1500s of a first eyewitness record of a guy hitting the dome in Alaska. He reached the low point of the dome to where he could touch it. Proof.
Bro.
It's proof. All the facts are right there in the 1550 version of the fucking almanac. From some guy who smoked too much weed in Alaska.
Yeah, all I'm saying is, he didn't hit the dome. He just reached the max build height in Minecraft. Okay.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. We can't go. One guy fucked up the story too. He's like, "Yeah, dude, that's why we can't go to Alaska." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude, there's troops in Alaska. You're not allowed to." I'm like, "Dude, people live there."
I could buy a plane ticket to Alaska.
They get their food delivered there.
Truckers on History Channel is allowed to go there every season.
Right. And he was like,
bro, the truckers are paid by Big Globe to make sure people think Alaska is free.
No, this is what he said to me. This is what he I could tell he realized he fucked up, right? And he was like, "Well, I meant to say." He was like, "Well, no." He was like, "Yeah, but they're not allowed to leave Alaska." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Huh?" I'm like, "What's the woman's name who's native to Alaska and tried to run for fucking president? What was her name?" He was like, "It was conspiracy. She's not from Alaska." I'm like, "Oh yeah, nobody is actually from Alaska. It's a lie, dude."
No, he's just trying to throw you guys off. Actually, the real reason you can't leave Alaska is because ever since the Second World War, Japan has owned Alaska after invading it. Okay? It's just to be like that, alright?
There's Eskimos, dude.
Exactly! Eskimos are just cold Japanese people.
He didn't mean to say Antarctica or anything. You know, he said Alaska by accident, and he just kept with it. And I'm like, I was like, "No, dude, you're talking about Antarctica, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, we can't because the ice wall." And I'm like, "What?
Ice wall?"
I'm like, "Okay, let's use your science against you, right?"
Wall of ice.
Completely flat. So in theory, if there's this giant fucking ice wall that nobody wants us to see, and that's why you can't get within a certain distance. Why can I not whip out a pair of binoculars and just see the wall with my binoculars? And he's like, "Well, it's too far. You can't." And I'm like, "Yeah, I wonder what naturally occurring phenomenon prevents me from being able to see all the way through the other side of the earth with binoculars."
Bro, okay.
Curvature.
Obviously, alright. You just have your render distance too low. Alright? You just need to get Optifine so you can crank that up to 60 chunks.
Well, no, dude. The fog from the condensation, the evaporation, the mist from the demon mist is it's Satan doesn't want me to see the ice wall. It's a
yeah. That makes sense.
Does that sound like flat earthy enough?
There's actually flat earthers that believe in a mist that prevents you from seeing across the world. Just
Yeah, I
throwing that out
know.
there.
Yeah, that was.
I was
that
about to
was
say
the
you're
main
you're right on, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna make you doubt yourself. You're on point, except for like the demon part. But they believe there's a mist that stops you from seeing.
Yeah.
They've watched too much Cloverfield.
I've seen a meme where it's like, if you talk to a conspiracy theory person and they talk about their conspiracy theories, make a more outlandish one. Like if someone says the moon, like the moon landing was fake, just bring them back with you believe in the moon?
Oh, exactly, dude. Yeah. The moon.
You believe
There
we're
is
on
no
Earth?
moon, dude. It's a fucking hologram.
The moon is a ball of cheese.
It's an alien spaceship.
You
Honestly
believe in the
speaking,
Earth?
There is no moon because this is all a simulation, and the reason we can't leave Earth is
That's
because
the
they haven't
ultimate-
rendered the outside universe.
That's like the ultimate insane conspiracy that beats all other conspiracies. Dude, I don't even know why we're talking about this right now, bro. We got to get out of the simulation, dude. And they're just going to be like, oh, shit, dude, you're right.
Honestly speaking, I think if you ask me, we just need to break the sim. Alright?
No, you just
What
start
we
yelling.
need to do is we need to put a bunch of binoculars together. So many binoculars, and it puts so many flashlights on those binoculars that we could see through the fog and see the ice wall, and it'll crash the simulation.
No, here's how you really get them, right? Like, once they start talking about it, you're like, dude, you cracked the code. And they're like, what? And you're like, listen, this is all a dream. I need you to wake up now and, like, enter this sequence into your Discord chat, and you will wake up. Or, like, some, I don't know, fucking some, yeah, just take them on some crazy fucking loony trail.
Just take them on a fucking adventure.
This is a dream, bro.
Take
Your subconscious
the red
mind.
pill.
Inception wasn't just a film.
I'm sorry to tell you, but everyone you've ever known and loved isn't real. It's just you. It's just you, buddy. We're all you. All the reflections of a million yous. All one more disappointing than the last.
It's okay to commit murder because you're just hurting yourself. You're like, I don't know what's real anymore. And it's like, cogito ergo sum, motherfucker.
It isn't self-hurt if they're all already dead.
Exactly.
It's not murder if they're already dead.
No, but I think the most, like, not insane theory I've ever heard, like, it's like a line of philosophical thinking, is that, like, when you die, it'll be the first day you wake up from your dream as a baby. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. Like, that could possibly be, but then you have to, like, look at it's very improbable that that's actually, the whole we're in a simulation too is extremely improbable.
Or
Yeah,
is
what about
it?
simulations?
The fact that we're in one is just, like, so improbable.
That's what they want you
Not
to
even
think.
funny.
Honestly, I think it's a worthless endeavor. There's no reason to even bother for in a simulation.
Well, and it's like, I think they make a good point in the Matrix. It's like, the simulation's like, dude, I'm safe right now. I'm fine. I feel comfortable. Like, I'm having a good time. Like, why would I want to leave? Like, what? You have no idea what's outside the simulation. It literally could just be nothing. Like, there might not be a way for you to get out of the simulation. Like, what if God, let's use, like, the God simulation concept, right? Like, this is a test run on some dude's computer. You can't get out of that. You're just a rogue. You're a rogue fucking AI, or you're a rogue, process. And he's just gonna be like, "Oh, this thing's fucking. It's acting really weird. End task. Bye. You just got
Believe the
deleted,
world is
dude.
flat.
Congrats! You just destroyed the entire world.
You
by
figured it
being
out.
Too woke.
You figured it out, dude. You just got yourself deleted. Good
Yeah.
job, dude.
At that point, it's pretty much the concept of Cthulhu. Sometimes it's better not to know.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You know? And the thing is you also have to remember that the reason you want to break out of a simulation is because of the values you hold in said simulation, but everything that exists outside the simulation cannot 100%. It could not possibly be, unless it's a 100% accurate simulation of the outside world, quotation marks, right?
Right.
It could be literally something that is completely foreign to you that you have never known or ever will know, or even possibly not even be able to comprehend.
What if
All laws of reality simply could not apply outside.
Right.
At least all laws of reality that are known to us.
Or what if the simulation was like humanity's last attempt to preserve consciousness, and like, yeah, we're in a simulation, but it's like we're actually just like the last people ever that were alive at the time before the world ended, and we got launched into space. So we're just like floating out into space in a like you.
The big
Oh, great! You
was the
broke
computer
out. Now
turning on
you're
and changed my mind.
Now
But
you're
what if
SD card.
What if it's like the Matrix, since that's the most common one, where humanity is actually being harvested as a fucking resource? Do you honestly want to come out of that? I mean, I'm pretty comfortable in here. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm cool with being a battery, dude. I'm
Like-
battery. Like,
What
it's
if-
pretty fun?
We were created by an alien race just to see like what intelligent life would do inside a simulation.
Exactly.
I mean,
Well, it's like kind of the same concept of like you're on some geek's computer who's
Yeah.
like playing simulation version 2.0.
and the
And we're his-
coronavirus
we're
was
his
just him
Sims
testing
world.
what we would do.
Like, what if we are right? Like, think about this. This would be fucking weird as hell. Like, what if we're a simulation to see how like fucking intelligent life would exist in a galaxy? But the reason why they did that is because, like, in the real world, quotation marks, that alien species has explored their entire galaxy and they found no intelligent life. So the reason they made us was to create intelligent life to see if they could get a companion species.
I guess at that point, breaking out would be like part of the test, but
Then
Maybe.
why
that's
not
one
just
of
put
the
us in
infinitely
robots?
possible theories that could exist if we are again. So it's like you said, it's just pointless to think about because it's like it'd be a lot more scary breaking out of this said simulation than just accepting that you're in it and just going along with it.
It's not really that, like, I think it's scary. I just think it's a fruitless endeavor. Because, like, on top of that, do you honestly think they wouldn't have fucking protocols if you do break out and they don't want us to break out?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, obviously, the entire test could be, hey, are you willing to break out, right? But also, they could just not want us to break out. I mean, it's
Right.
just as plausible. As a matter of fact, it's more plausible than them wanting us to break out.
And honestly, if this is a simulation, it's a pretty shitty simulation. Like, it's a really fucking awful simulation.
Honestly,
Well, it's just like what
if-
the Matrix said, that if the world was too perfect, our minds wouldn't accept it as real.
But you're
Yeah.
going under the premise that there was a world that we existed in prior to the simulation.
yeah, that's what it's assuming. Because if we were created, then we'd accept the world as it is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, you don't really question that water is water. We kind of know it's fucking water. Like, we're not gonna be like, honestly, I don't think this water's believable enough. I really think we should get some dashes of pink in there.
right.
But what
And,
if
like,
It's too green.
You'd be wasting a lot of processing power, like with us having like unneeded functions like eating or sleeping or breathing.
but what if
or
they were trying to make the
blinking.
most realistic simulation possible?
Yeah, well, you know what? They should just play Arma 3. Arma 3 is a pretty cool simulation game.
Nah, dude, Escape from Tarkov, bro, is the way to go. I want to be Escape from Tarkov. Why couldn't they have made it like apocalyptic, dude? I want an apocalyptic.
Sure.
Hello?
hey, that's the next update, bro.
Yeah,
we run
bro.
this shit apocalyptic style, dude. Come on. No.
It's the next update.
Update 15.1.
You just hear like from above you, no, shut up, faggot. You're like, oh, yeah, chill.
Oh, are those the air raid sirens going off?
Speak and you shall
Unfortunately.
receive.
I refuse to sleep until we're in apocalyptic land. He's like, go to bed and I'll
Yo.
upgrade.
Make me god tier at building in Minecraft.
Right.
Come on.
Well, here's another question too. If we're in a simulation and everything we understand about computers is correct, none of anybody has ever been awake when an update happened and not remembered the update at all. Like nothing's ever needed to have been updated.
Nah, bro. The game hasn't been updated in 300 years.
I was about to say, we haven't been
Fucking lazy
updated in
devs.
4 billion years, man.
Fucking lazy ass devs.
The
dude.
last update was them adding humans.
Unfortunate. Honestly, after they got rid of the dinosaur update, it's pretty boring out here, you know?
Yeah, man.
Can we get an event to bring back the dinosaurs? Hell yeah.
Dude, and like give us like little XP bars, and then like we could farm experience off the dinosaurs. Yeah, dude, make it like a 1 week
Easy.
event.
Easy.
See who the real survivors are. Dinosaur versus tank. Who wins that? Tank.
Because tank cool.
But you
Tank boom.
make it sound like they didn't update the dinosaurs in the time being to have armor-piercing claws.
Damn.
Now the dinosaurs have laser eyes now.
Like, why give us such a shitty enemy? Update the enemy.
Shark with
Easy.
a laser on its head, dude. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Easy. The event boss is a giant rainbow dodo bird with nuclear missiles. Access to the entire world's nuclear arsenal.
It just breathes out like a toxic fume that just instantly kills everything within a like 2 billion mile radius.
Easy.
Like fuck, dude, it gassed the whole
You know, honestly, if you ask me, I think we should revert updates. You know, we should honestly go back to 1.2 when we could eat raw meat. That'd be pretty cool.
Bring fucking Jesus and Gandhi back too while you're at it.
Honestly speaking, Genghis Khan. I mean, come on. Like, he has a cool ass name.
Yeah, but we're all like part of him, aren't we? Like, is it? I think they say like most people have at least like 2% of his DNA.
Yeah, well, you know what? I didn't read the lore books, okay? There was too much lore in this game.
Oh, dude, you know what we do all honestly need if we're updating the simulation? Elves.
We need a codex.
We need
What's a codex?
elves, we need orcs, we need dragons.
We need
Trolls.
the big titty anime cat girls right
dude.
now. Right now. Where are my big titty anime cat girls?
Tentacle monsters too. We need the
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a given.
Oh, right, with the Nico-chans, the Nekos.
Yeah. And you know what? You're at it. Honestly, I think you should add a new money glitch into the game and only tell me. Like, come on.
You see a bar in front of your face now. It's like, update queued. Update time, 4 million years. You're like, fuck. Well, guys, I'll catch you on the next reboot.
But yeah, we should make a podcast with us three.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next
Alright.
topic, aliens.
Oh, dude.
Anorexic xenomorph.
Don't even get me started on aliens.
Exactly, that's why we're saving it for the next podcast.
They've chipped us all.
You have damned us all.
We're an alien experiment. That could be another theory as to our existence. We're an alien experiment.
Yeah, they just
like in
took the DNA of theirs, changed it a little bit, and then threw us on a planet.
No, dude, I'm thinking like the movie Alien, like the newer ones, where like we're a testing facility for like biological.
Oh, like Prometheus.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Prometheus, but they like fucked up. They forgot that we.
Yeah. I forgot the fuck the aliens are called.
Xenomorphs.
No, not the
Engineers.
aliens. Yeah, the engineers.
Prometheans? Oh. No, I'm thinking of something. That's just the movie Prometheus.
Nah, the super smart alien boys, one that are
engineers.
basically extinct, they're called the engineers. And they basically, if I remember correctly, they like created a bunch of life and whatever the fuck, like the xenomorphs. That's why they're like biomechanical.
Well,
Yeah, they're like weapons.
yeah.
I don't know much about the lore, but that's about as much as I know.
I know a
Why
good
make-
amount.
Why make a bomb when you can make a thing that eats your face off?
And when you kill a
Easy.
thing that's trying to kill you, it burns you alive in its own blood.
I mean, to be fair, the old ones in 40K did make the orcs and thought it was a good idea.
True.
It was not a good idea. It was a horrific idea.
True that.
Also, somebody might have made the Tyranids, which is also an absolutely terrible idea, but well,
I think
Fuck
the
them.
idea that there is a realm that exists where there's like these fucking demon god things that are like plotting at all times to like try to rule over the current universe, that's pretty terrifying.
yeah. Honestly, I think the more terrifying part is the fact that it's their nature. They're not doing it because they're actually evil. They're just doing it because they're like, yep, that's my instinct. I just got to do that.
This is what we do.
But you want to know what's more
This is what we
trippy?
do.
Who created them?
Actually, we know who created them.
Oh, I guess I haven't read up
We
on that
created
part.
them.
Oh, it's the universe itself, any form of life.
Yeah, we.
It's like they're like thought monsters basically. If you think it
Yeah.
exists, now it does.
Oh, you've done your research.
I have, indeed I have. You got me very interested, so I watched 2 separate 3-hour videos where a guy just literally explains the entire lore of 40K.
Oh yeah, I remember you were talking about how you just watched Astartes and now how you were getting into all the lore and stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. Astartes is so freaking good, but he's like, I'm done with it. He's like, I'm gonna do a new thing. I'm like, dude, you can't leave us like that, bro. You can't.
Wait, did he legit
No,
say he was
okay.
done with it?
Yeah,
Well-
he wants to move on to some.
Well, yeah, it reached the end.
Okay, but he wants to go at it from like a different. He wants to do a different story.
Like, Astartes is pretty much like over. It's done.
What do you mean
Like,
it's
it
done?
sort of left on a bit of a cliffhanger type of thing.
A bit.
Up.
Yeah, just a bit.
Just
You have
a
this whole
little.
fucking concept, dude. He just like
Yeah, but that's the thing. Astartes doesn't really say much. It's more of, I think the more entertaining part about it is theorizing about what story is about, more of than having a proper conclusion.
Yeah, true.
Just
true.
like how
Yeah,
I
'cause
was
it just
telling him
'cause
about like
Honestly, like, think about this. Simply, whatever you can think of is way cooler than what a story can tell you.
exactly.
That's so true.
It's
couldn't
what I was
agree
talking
more.
about, like shows I've watched before where I lose interest after I've found my answers. And like the story
Yeah.
would keep going, but I'm no longer interested because I found out what I wanted to know.
Yeah, good stories, they keep you asking questions,
Hmm.
because if it answers all your questions, there's no reason for you to watch anymore.
Yeah.
Hey,
Because
Inception, right at
That's
the
the
end.
most interesting thing.
Well, the end of Inception, it's like we don't see what happens to the top. So it's like, is he still in a dream or is he not in a dream? We may never know. The world may never know.
That's why a lot of stories leave their stories on cliffhangers, even if they aren't planning to make a sequel.
Right?
Like,
They did the same with, we were talking about Prometheus or whatever.
yeah,
That they did the same thing with that.
yeah, but they actually made a sequel to that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. Like a while ago, except nobody paid attention to it because they didn't like Prometheus.
I forget what the sequel was called. I watched it, but I don't remember what it was called.
I think it was just called Alien.
Was it?
Maybe.
I'm gonna.
Well, it was, yes, it was but it didn't explain anything of what we wanted it to explain. That's why nobody fucking cared, because it was like, it was a different concept of,
Well, they didn't.
like,
People
it wasn't
probably
a
didn't like it.
continuation of Prometheus. It wasn't like
They weren't.
her actually getting to the engineers and like finding out what.
We didn't like the answers we were given.
You see, I think the issue with the movie was the fact that people, when they hear alien, right, they usually expect like Alien and Aliens, right, where it's people in a ship being hunted down by these fucking terrifying murderous creatures. With an Alien, like Prometheus, was just more of people talking about a lot of shit, right? And then finding a lot of shit, and then like eventually, finally, people died a bit. But the issue here is that we already know what the fuck the alien is. We already know what a xenomorph is. We've seen it like a million times. It's not really scary anymore, right? Like a xenomorph just isn't going to scare an audience because an audience already knows what a xenomorph is.
Oh, but shoot, but face huggers, dude, still give me fucking nightmares.
Oh yeah. Face huggers are still scary as fuck,
If
though.
they had a movie just about the face huggers, like that would probably be a good scare.
You know the chest bursters?
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
I know a person that literally went lesbian because they thought the chest bursters looked like a person's dick.
I think that was probably just an excuse. They were probably just
Maybe, but I still thought it was
any excuse
a
to be
funny
lesbian.
excuse to let you guys know.
Yeah, that's pretty amusing.
I thought it was amusing enough to share.
But also the thing with that is that like xenomorphs, they are the face of Alien as well. So you can't just throw in some new fucking monster alien boy to like fucking scare people, right? Because it's Alien. Like it's part of the Alien series, right? You can't just fucking throw some new monster in there unless it's like a fucking monster bash, like fucking the Godzilla movies.
No, throw in a Predator, Alien versus Predator. Oh, they already did that.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed Alien versus, well, the first one I enjoyed. I think they made like three. First one was good.
They're like entertaining like monster mash movies.
Oh, dude,
like-
the game was fucking sick too.
Aliens versus Predator.
Yeah,
You're talking about the 2012 version or the classic one?
yeah. Well, it came out a couple of years ago. Yeah, the classic was a lot of fun too, because you could pick human. You could either be a human, you could be an alien, or you could be a predator.
Yeah. Do you know what's a game I want to get since we're talking about aliens? I want to get fucking Alien Isolation. That shit looks fucking scary.
If you don't deal with scary games very well, you're not going to finish that game. It's fucking absolutely terrifying. And if you want to go full balls to the walls, dude, they have a feature where like you can. I don't know if it does it with the VR or something, or I think it's like they have you install an app on your phone and it literally monitors your heart rate, and like it'll start like beating, like if your heart is beating fast, like your heart is beating fast, it'll do it in the game and it'll make enough noise to draw the fucking alien to you.
Oh my
God. In the game, and then like the alien will hear your heartbeat and come. So you have to like actually calm yourself in an already fucked situation, and it's just it's that game is fucked.
I mean,
It's
that
so
would
fucked.
be a good way to learn how to control your fear. I mean, am I wrong?
I think the thing is eventually, right? Since it's a game, you'll learn how to game the system.
Yeah.
So eventually, it won't really be scary, and the only times it'll be scary is whenever you get absolutely jump scare fucked by the alien,
Yeah.
or like you're running from him or something. So that's just how I think of it. But I've been wanting to play a scary game for a while, and the only game I really have that's scary is Amnesia. but Amnesia is sort of like dark as fuck, and I don't really like games that their only scare factor is dark as fuck. Right?
Yeah.
But
Oh,
it
Machine
was
for Pigs.
enjoyable.
Do you have Machine for Pigs?
Oh no, I want to play that one though because I heard that one's actually really good.
That
It's
game
better than the
fucks
original.
with you, like psychologically.
The
Like your character will hallucinate and shit. Like that's another. Like I couldn't get through Dead Space 2 because of like just the hallucinations aspect of the game. I was like, fuck that. I'm good. No.
I played the
thank
original
you.
Dead Space.
2 is fucked, and then 3 is just like trash.
Yeah, I remember when I was like younger, like I don't know, like 6 years ago, right? When Amnesia was like really popular to stream and shit, right? I'd watch people like fucking play it, and one fucking thing really freaked me the fuck out, and I was like, there's like a barred door, right? And behind the barred door for a few seconds, all you could see was a face made of like it was just like the eyes and mouth that were like glowing, and it disappeared. That shit scared the fuck out of me. I don't know why.
You guys remember the movie Signs?
Yeah.
Which one was that again?
It was by
That movie fucked with me.
it was the same movie that was made by that M. Night Shyamalan dude. It was about aliens coming to the planet and wanting to like take it over. And like that movie honestly kind of fucked me up a little because there was a scene in it where it was like there was a kid's birthday party, and
Yeah.
the woman was recording outside, and like an alien walked by, and like it was in an alleyway, and you could see it walk by into the alleyway and disappear back behind the building, and it did it again, and the frame freezed on the alien looking at you, and that shit scared the shit out of me.
Dude, you're low-key giving me flashbacks.
No,
of
like
that
I have
scene.
goosebumps
remember
right
very
now
vividly.
just thinking about it.
That part fucked with me.
It did with.
The part
I was
too where
scared
they're,
of
like, in the
alleyways ever
basement or
since.
whatever, and it's like all the lights are off, and you just hear them like fucking banging or scratching or whatever.
Yeah.
too. That part was really fucky.
Is it called Signs?
Yeah,
I mean, as an adult, or like older person, yeah, you probably like it's not definitely probably not one of those.
no,
scenes
I'm
that-
still getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm too
That's definitely
scared
not a
to
movie I
watch
wanna
that
go back
movie.
and watch. Yeah, I do not want to go back and watch that movie. There was another movie that really.
Alright, boys. Since I know you guys love this scene so much,
No, fuck you, fuck
I
you.
put it in Discord.
I'm muting you. No,
Is it that scene?
I'm too scared to fucking look. No, you can't do this to me.
I'm about to go to bed, and you're really.
no,
about to do
fuck you. No, I looked at it. Fuck. No, fuck you. No.
So
Fuck.
it is that scene.
Yes.
I
Fuck
tried to
you.
press play, it's gone.
Fuck. No, I can't.
Okay, so I don't know anybody who's actually seen this movie. I think the movie is literally just called Tooth Fairy, not the one with fucking
The Rock.
The Rock in it. No, but it was like a horror film based around the Tooth Fairy. And the premise behind it is like, yeah, it would like leave you, it would like, take your tooth or whatever. But the whole premise of it was that if you saw the Tooth Fairy while it was doing its fuckery, it would then like stalk you and try to murder you. And it was like its only weakness was light.
I don't think I ever
whatever,
heard
and
of
that
it.
movie really fucked with me as a kid. What is the name of the movie?
Have you
I don't know
seen
if
the
it's
Tooth
actually-
Fairies from Hellboy? I'll take that as a no.
Darkness Falls. That movie is really fucked.
Huh.
It's got really horrible reviews. Here, I'll put the trailer.
Is the one alien still in there? Because I can't look back. No, I can't.
No, it isn't.
I swear that gives me flashbacks. I can't.
From considering this movie from 2002, this gives me extreme cringe vibes, and I kind of love it. Because it's this really low res fucking alien walking by, and then this man, he acts like he's just seen Satan himself. He goes back, he's covering his mouth like, oh my god.
Sorry, that's not the trailer. It's a clickbait. I can't believe even back then people had clickbait. Here's the actual trailer.
What is this shit about?
I mean, yeah, the alien was low res, but I mean, seeing it as a kid, that shit haunted me.
Oh yeah, I can see how as a kid I'd fuck you.
Yeah, that
What?
shit fucked me up. Like, my dad was watching it on the TV once, and I saw it, and I was fucked.
Bro, my parents thought it was totally chill for me, a 5-year-old, to see Chucky.
The fuck?
I
never
could
saw
not sleep
Chucky.
for several nights after
Oh,
that.
dude, Chucky fucked with me pretty bad.
I never
Yeah.
saw Chucky, but I still don't trust dolls.
Bro,
Hey man, Annabelle.
Oh fuck!
I
I
hear
saw The
she's nice.
Conjuring.
That movie was fucked. Like, dude, I was an adult seeing that. Yeah, I was like,
I
no,
watched that with a group of friends, and I can't believe they talked me into that shit.
There's another movie that I saw as a kid too that was kind of fucked. It's called 13 Stories, I believe.
Oh, you want to know another scene that fucked me up from The Signs? Is like when you're watching and like the hand comes out of the well, or not the well, but I forget what it was. But like there's a kid standing there and like
13
a hand like almost grabs the kid.
this is big brain.
All the YouTube comments for this movie are just like, yeah, you saw this as a kid too, and it fucked with you, didn't it? On this and the that fucking Tooth Fairy bullshit movie. Yeah, like I actually rewatched this movie recently, and like it really wasn't. It's not like as an adult. Yeah, as an adult.
As
like,
an adult,
not
it's not scary. But like you see it as a kid and it's just like it fucks with you.
Bro, my experiences with scary movies as a kid has made me hate scary movies. I just don't want to watch scary movies. Because I'm like, fuck,
Same.
that might fuck with me. I don't want it to fuck with me.
Right? No, even as an adult I'm scared, like what if I watch this and I can't sleep for the next 2 nights?
Facts.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, dude, one of my. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna should say when I saw Signs, I had to have like my little brother come with me everywhere.
Oh.
That is surprisingly wholesome.
But like I was scared like the alien was in the dark or some shit and was gonna get me.
Fair enough, because that's kind of the premise of the
Yeah.
movie. Yeah. Bro, so yeah, when I was in college, like one of my friends, she was like, "Oh, like fucking, I hate her now because like she literally just used me as like a substitute for her boyfriend, but like literally didn't do any of the other shit you would do with a boyfriend type shit. I hated that. Anyways, but she's like, yeah, I want to go see a movie or whatever. And then like we were gonna go watch this movie, and then like out of nowhere, like all our other friends were like, yeah, we're not doing it. Like we were down in the lobby talking, and like some of our friends started coming down, and we ended up going. It was like me, her, and like 3 other people, and we go see this movie. And I guess it had something to do with like a demon summoning ritual or some stupid shit. It wasn't the movie Ouija. I know that. But we like get back and we're like hanging out in my room or her room or something. And then some fuckhead like actually started doing the shit that they were doing in the movie. And like our power just so happened to go out, like the dorm power went out when they were doing it. And I was like, dude, fuck you. Fuck you right now so hard. You motherfucker. I was like, I hope you get railed by like 10 dudes. I was saying all this horrible shit. And I was like, you fucking killed us. And then the power comes back on and like the RA's going around knocking on everyone's door like, the power went out. It's okay. I'm like, oh, dude, you didn't open a portal to hell. Awesome. Nice.
I've always told my friends I'll go to a party, but the second a Ouija board is pulled out, I'm leaving.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't even like I'm not like into the supernatural shit. Yeah, but when it comes to like, let's fuck with demons or like something that you could summon that would like latch on to you.
There are things in the world you should not mess with.
Yeah, even if you don't believe in it.
Yeah, you don't want to take the chance.
Exactly.
Like, what if I am wrong? What if a demon is real?
And you just invite
Well, I guess I'll just die then.
Chuckles, I'm in danger.
I don't think it's so much about the dying aspect. It's about the aspect that you're going to be tortured for like the rest of your life.
Not just torture, I mean the demon's probably gonna kill you.
Well, it's gonna fuck with you though.
It's gonna fuck with you and then kill you.
Alright. I am totally not ready to go to sleep now.
I was about to say, once I saw that image of the alien, I can't sleep now. I got flashbacks.
For a gamer move.
I got flashbacks.
I only feel minorly bad.
It's that such a fucking meme now where everything's like, everyone's like, oh, it's such a pro gamer moment. Pro gamer moment. Epic gamer moment.
What a pro gamer move.
Like, I saw the movie Ouija with a friend, kind of like the friend you were describing. I don't really talk to her anymore either. But we went to go watch Ouija, and I mean, that movie scared me a bit.
Bro, honestly, fuck her. Like, she would do shit that would, like, was clearly so leading on. But, like, and she knew I was into her, like, because I admitted to, like, her best friend. She was like, well, she was, like, fucking with me. Or she was like, are you into her? And I was like, yeah, I am kind of really into her. And I guess she, like, told her. So she, like, kind of fucked with me more. But, like, that night, I was like, well, I guess I'm going back to my... No, we were hanging out in this other guy's room, Travis's room. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going back to my room. And she was like, are you going to be okay? And I was like, I don't know. I guess I'll go to sleep or whatever. My roommate wasn't there. And, like, we were in the same dorm, so it's not like you needed a pass or anything to go from, like, the guy's side to the girl's side or anything. Like, you could kind of just,
Go as you pleased.
To someone's room if, like, they were, inviting you to your room or whatever. And she's like, well, I can come with you and, like, hang out with you for a little bit or whatever. And I was like, yeah, sure. And so we were, like, hanging out and this and that. And, like, I was getting really tired and she was getting really tired. And I was like, well, do you, like, I could walk you back to your room or whatever. And she was like, well, I could just, like, sleep here with you. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, yeah, definitely. And I was like, well, I mean, there was just my bed and then my roommate's bed that was like, because we had like a bunk system. It was fucking, honestly, it was kind of weird that we had like bunk beds in college. But, like, he never showed up ever. Like, he was never in the dorm. He was in fucking frat house. He always like passed out there and shit. He was like doing cocaine and all that crazy shit. And she was like, I was like, well, like, I'm like trying to get ready to like set up a little thing for me to sleep on the ground. And like, she just like hops in my bed and she was like, well, it's like, you're ready to go to sleep now, right? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, all right, well, come on. And I'm like, oh shit. So we like slept together, but we like didn't do anything. And I'm like, just like, fuck. And that happened like multiple times while we were friends. I'm just like,
why can I relate so much?
Boyfriend's literally 3 states away. You're in a long distance relationship. Like, what the fuck? And then they broke up, right? Is the crazy thing. Like, they broke up like a month or two after, like, or before I dropped out. But I was like already in a relationship. And then like I had kind of stopped talking to her. Like, I talk to her occasionally now and stuff. And like I was fucking dicking around on Facebook recently, or she's been in the same relationship with the same guy like after she broke up, like up to now. Like I think they're like, I don't know, gonna get married or some shit. I don't really care. And like I look at a picture of them together, and the dude literally like looks pretty much just fucking like me. And I'm like, you fucking bitch. The guy
Diggity damn.
dating, pretty much, we looked very similar too. And I think, like, yeah, no, I remember, like, maybe, like, 3 or 4 months ago, she, like, texted me, and she was like, can I tell you something? It's been bugging me. And I'm like, oh, God, fine. Like, I have a pretty good idea what it was going to be. And she's like, you know, I really actually, like, did kind of, like, this and that with you in college. And I'm like, why are you telling me this now? Why? Like, why? What the fuck?
15 years too late.
Damn, dude, I'm not that old. No, but like 4 years too late.
Well, I'm assuming you guys didn't get my reference. The Incredibles.
Oh.
Oh. God damn it.
I'm full of references.
I know you are. Every time you say something, I assume it's a reference, and I always try to think what it is.
Dude, bros, I popped her weed cherry too. Like,
Per weed cherry.
yeah. She's like so against weed and stuff. And I remember one time we're just like all chilling in my car. No, I was gonna smoke with her like best friend or whatever, and like she was like tagged along for some reason. I'm like, you know, we're about to like smoke weed in this car, right? Like you're definitely gonna like we're gonna hotbox my car. So like you probably, I'm like, I didn't really understand why I didn't understand why she was there to begin with. Like she knew like what was going down and everything, and she just like tagged along anyways, I guess. Or just like high as fuck, getting like hot, even more high, like roll up another blunt. And then I like wasn't even really trying to get her to smoke. I just like took a couple of hits and like passed it, but I like got confused. Like I assumed I was high enough to the point where I just assumed like, you know, you're hotboxing a car. Like I'm like, oh yeah, everybody in the car is smoking weed. So I go to pass her the blunt and she like kind of smirks at me. I'm like, what? I'm like, it's your hit. And she's like, I don't smoke. You fuck. I'm like, oh, I'm high as shit. And then like I go to pass it to the other chick. And like again, I think this was like her way of trying to like flirt with me or some shit. And she like takes it out of my hand, like locks eyes with me and like takes a hit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, oh, I just wanted to try it. And I was like, that's really strong shit. I was like, I just loaded up like a really fucking strong blunt. Like what the fuck? It was funny, dude. She was so fucking high off like 3 hits. I was like, yeah, you're digging it, aren't you? And she's like, yeah.
I've never smoked weed.
Me. I was like, do you want to go back to my room and like smoke some more? And her friend was all like, no, she's coming with me. I'm like, you fucking hoe. Cock blocking motherfucker. That probably would have been my best chance, dude. I got her high and had used the marijuana to have sex, to date rape drug. It's like, nah, I don't think so, dude. I'm pretty sure you could be high as fuck, right? Like, high out of your fucking mind, and your homie could come up to you and be like, yo, dude, can I, like, fuck you in the ass? And you would definitely be like, no.
I wouldn't know. I've never smoked.
You're not going to get so high to the point where someone rapes you in the ass and, like, you wake up the next day and don't know you just got ass raped. Like, that's not, no. There's no way, dude. Like, there's no fucking way. Weed is not a date rape drug, okay? That's all I'm saying.
It just enhances the experience.
Exactly, dude. Oh, God, yeah. It definitely does. Sorry, that's probably a little TMI.
I mean, I know people that have smoked weed and, you know, use the vapes.
Hey, bro, have you ever got your dick sucked on Molly? It's amazing.
What the fuck even is Molly? Like, I've heard of it.
MDMA, ecstasy. It's all the same thing. It's MDMA.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's what?
MDMA,
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is. Not gonna lie.
methyl diamine. I don't know the actual full chemical name. It's like like have you heard of ecstasy?
Ah, yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same. The chemical compound is MDMA, but yeah, it's ecstasy.
Ah,
Take it and you just
Okay.
feel like it basically, it's like the best way I could explain it, like having taken a lot of different stuff and like knowing what it does for me. It's just like kind of enhances your sensations. It like you're flooded with serotonin.
sounds pretty cool, yo.
Yeah, that's probably a big reason why I have like depression problems and stuff and anxiety now, because like there is a thing where if you like take too much Molly at once or like over a span of time, you'll have what they call like serotonin deficiency syndrome or something.
It's because your body becomes so used to getting that dose that it does no longer produces the amount needed.
Right. Yeah. Not a drug I'd recommend unless you want to be like possibly depressed the rest of your life. Just take more Molly, dude. No, the cycle continues. Ah! She's like 50 years old. All right, I'll take my daily dose of MDMA. It's really bad for your heart too, and it's definitely something like that you can overdose on somewhat easily. So yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
There's better stuff out there. Just smoke crack or something. You know? It's better. But well, hey, I guess I got my mind off of the whole like I'm gonna get touched by a demon tonight. Oh, why did I say that? Fuck me. No, I'm not. No, I'm not okay.
I heard you got a pretty mouth, boy.
You're just sleeping and you've got like a really weird feeling going on with your face, and you wake up and there's just nothing on top of you, but you're just like stuffed down through the throat. You're just like, ah, no, demon senpai, no, this is not how it's supposed to be.
There's a thing where every time you yawn, a ghost sticks its dick in your mouth.
Hell yeah.
Yawns as you say that.
That's why people like they say cover your
Hey,
mouth
hey.
when you yawn, or else a ghost will stick its dick in your mouth.
Oh yeah, I think Key and Peele did like a funny skit on that where it's like all the shit that ghosts are doing that you can't see, and they're just like jacking off on top of you and stuff. Just on your back. You just like don't even have a clue. It's ectoplasm. That's what ectoplasm is. Just ghost jizz. Just take a black light and you just hold. You can't even notice that the black light's on because everything is just evenly coated. Fuck. Why is it so fucking bright in here? Shit. No, but there's other dumb stuff too, like when you sneeze, like you're exorcising the demons out of you or something. That's why you're supposed to say bless you.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You should exorcise the demon. It's like, no, it's just a thing that every living thing that has a fucking nose does.
But the same, my dog sneeze.
Yeah, dogs sneeze, cats, dolphins. Fun fact about dolphins, did you know that dolphins get high?
Hmm.
Yeah, there's like a puffer fish. There's a specific type of puffer fish that they know about. They know what it does. And it, yeah, the stuff that it squids out, it's like a weird type of puffer fish that like puffs out like a thing, a toxin or whatever, a neurotoxin. But like it just gets dolphins high, and they'll like you can find videos on YouTube of them like passing them around, like they'll pass it around to each other and stuff.
Hmm.
And they'll just be like fucking just coasting through, just swimming in circles. They do like really funny shit when they're on the puffer fish, dude.
Also, fun fact about dolphins: they sleep with only half their brain awake. Like they're asleep with half their brain asleep and the other half awake, and then they're asleep again for the other half to sleep.
Huh. Dude, I
Just
wish
half
we could
sleep
do
when you half sleep.
that. So you're like 25% asleep, really, if you think about it, if you're a dolphin.
Well, I mean, like they'll keep their heads above water so they can breathe because they breathe air. So they'll only put half their brain asleep so that way they can stay afloat. And they'll only sleep for like 30 minutes, I think. And then they'll go out about their business. And then after like 2 hours of doing their thing, they'll let the other half of their brain sleep for 30 minutes.
Dude, being a dolphin sounds like it'd be pretty sick. They don't really have any natural predators at all. They're just chilling. Dolphins also have like societal rules too. Like if you're a dolphin and you rape another dolphin and like the pod finds out, they'll exile you. And same thing if you kill another dolphin, like intentionally per se. I don't know how else a dolphin would kill another dolphin unless it wasn't intentionally.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like murder as well, they'll
We're talking about dolphins. Dolphins are cool.
yes.
Where have you been for the past 10 minutes?
I've been watching YouTube.
You're talking
Because you
about
guys were talking about relationships, and I did not understand what you were talking about. Because I've only been in high school relationships that have literally no meaning.
What about that one girl you're with right now?
Oh, I'm not with her anymore.
Oh.
She broke up with me.
How come?
But did she suck the peen?
Fuck if I know. She fucking bullshitted me. She was like, "Oh, you babied me or whatever." The fuck. Bitch, of course I fucking did. You almost walked into 3 cars. What the fuck do you mean?
But did she suck your dick though?
No, she was
Damn.
too fucking innocent for that. Shaking
Handjob?
my head. So I need to date a hoe.
Hand job? Did you get it? Damn, dude. RIP. Hey, man. I mean, you know,
Indeed.
there's tons of pussy out there. Said the guy who hasn't been laid in like, I don't even know how many years now.
Hey, just remember, when you're not getting laid, you have more time to think about important stuff.
Like what porn I'm gonna jack off. I hope we're still not live on YouTube.
Oh yeah, we are.
Oh shit.
I mean, I don't care. I can't demonetize me if I don't make money off of YouTube. So
It was a joke. I don't watch porn. You watch porn, weirdo.
I watch porn.
Weird viewer. All right, well then, yeah, I guess I do watch porn. If you're gonna say it. I think most dudes, yeah, probably do watch porn. Anyways, non-porn related. Yeah, dolphins. You were talking about how dolphins like get high.
then I was talking about how they only sleep with half their brain for 30 minutes and then go about their business and then let the other half sleep for another 30.
Dude, yeah, if I could reincarnate into anything, I'd probably reincarnate. Like, if I had a choice, I'd probably pick dolphin.
I would honestly choose a dog.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess you would just want to make sure you'd be, like, in a good home. Yeah, being a dog, like, yeah, in a good home. that'd be
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Or like me, even a wild dog would be nice, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Be a wolf.
Yeah. No, we reincarnate as a dragon, the very first dragon.
Dude, a lemur? You could be a lemur?
Lemurs.
Bro, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not picking no pussy shit like a lemur, bro. I'm gonna be a fucking panda.
Yeah.
I think we lost Lewis.
It's like, yo, dude, what are we gonna eat today? Fucking bamboo, just like you did fucking 8 months ago. What about tomorrow? Bamboo! It's always gonna be bamboo! Fuck! Can't
This
somebody-
is why pandas in Minecraft are always depressed.
I feel like normal pandas are mostly depressed too, probably because they fucking just only eat bamboo.
It's like it's kind of a natural wonder, like how pandas made it this long.
Pandas just have big pee-pee. They really like to do the fuck.
I mean, they're big. They've got claws, fucking teeth, big old teeth. I think pandas are actually what do you call it?
Carnivores.
They're herbivores.
Oh,
They eat bamboo mostly, but they can eat like meat as well.
so omnivores.
Yeah, omnivore. I was a herbivore. Fuck.
Vorneoms.
Vorneom? You like vor? Ew, dude, what? Oh, shit. Oh, I need to go to the bathroom, but I don't want to, like, be in the darkness. Fuck. All right. Well.
Or the
I guess I'm
spooky
gonna
demon
have to
will
go.
touch you.
What?
I said if you go into that darkness, the spooky demon will touch you.
Why would you say that to me? That's so mean. Fuck you. Nah, I'm just playing. But
You know you wanna.
that I want to be touched by a demon?
No, you said fuck you.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you look like. All right, dude. I definitely need to go to sleep.
Go to the bathroom.
All right. Well, I'm gonna probably try to hit the hay too. But it's been very fun talking to you guys.
Yeah, we definitely can
Yes,
set up
sir.
a podcast.
Hell yeah.
Just remember the aliens are watching.
I don't care about aliens.
Yeah, his was the demons. I was the aliens.
Dude, ew, don't even say the D word.
That's
Dicks.
it. I'm pulling out the Ouija board.
All right, I'm leaving. Have a good night.
Wait, hold up.
/ morning.
Do we want to do it? Okay, he's gone. And then there were two.